A very good evening, everybody. Nice to have your company wherever you're tuning in all around Australia, all around the world. Zach Capen with you on a Monday night as we welcome you to the first Gentleman Sim Racing Club outing of the month. 10 months into the year, 2 months to go, 4 critical weeks of sim racing left for this club between now and the end of the points-paying season. Round 7, Season 3. And it's a double Italian dose for you tonight and on Wednesday night as well. We're at Monza tonight, we're at Imola on Wednesday night, and then we head back to the United States on Friday night for all things, of course, stock cars and supercars, and looking forward to that immensely. Nico Pop's with me. It's Monza tonight for Intro to Wings and round 7 of the GT3 series, but in a difference to recent weeks, we're going to focus on the Pro-Am split tonight, so in-race comments from Paul Nichols will be coming your way. Nick, massive week. Sim racing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's a US presidential election tomorrow, American time, Wednesday our time, State of Origin as well. What's not to like? It's a big week.
I'll only be watching State of Origin and Motorsport, but anyway.
Well, hang on. You're going to have State of Origin on right of screen while we commentate.
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
100%. If you hear me cheering, it'll be probably, if nothing's happening on screen, you hear me cheering. I was thinking about this today. It's probably because there's a try being scored or something. But,
yes.
Yeah, look, as you know, I don't generally get into the politics. Those crazy Americans can do what they want to, as long as it doesn't affect us directly too much here. And then hailstorms and thunderstorms in the southeast Queensland region where we're both from. So it's all happening.
Well, I was just about to say to you guys before we came on air, I got very lucky with the hail on Saturday because friends in Springfield and Willowbank and other parts around the region got smashed by it, and not a single skerrick of ice or hail or anything of the like here in Leichhardt. In fact, we missed the most of the storms as well. We got some good rain, but we missed the lightning, the blackouts and everything else, which I was really relieved about, I must admit. However, that was the good part of the day, and then it all went downhill once vote counting started, unfortunately, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. 8 minutes to go in qualifying here. Small field for the Intro to Wings outing this evening. Any reason why that might be the case, Nick?
Not sure.
No.
Maybe some timing issues, that kind of thing, but who knows? Either way, a small compact field will make for, especially around here, you want to stay in the draft train towards the front of the field. So as we watch, who's this? Michael Hammond, 007, going in through turns 1 and 2 here. On his run up to the second chicane, which is the, what's that? The Variante Alta, I think. I love all the names. I don't like corner numbers.
We've discovered that about you.
Yeah, look, it gives it a bit of a history. Up through the, Variante Alta is Imola. We're in Monza, silly me. We're through the second Lesmos corner, on the run down to the Variante Ascari, the Ascari chicane. Now we're watching Jackson now. So they're both running the Bear and Bull livery.
I was going to say, be very mindful of Jackson and Michael Hammond. They're both running the same livery, so I think the only thing that tells them apart tonight's the helmet and the number.
And the number, exactly. Down to the Parabolica Curve, very fast, very deceptive curve. You've got to get an early apex and then let it drift out towards the outside of the corner, so Jackson gets his early apex there. Try and keep it tight, and then now let it drift out, full power. And if you keep it tight in these cars, because these things don't have that much too many horses behind under the bonnet, keeping it tight is a little bit more advantageous there. And Rayhana is the first one to set an actual time.
And straight to the top, Nick, no surprises there. 149.610 for Jackson Rayhana. Everyone else outside the 49s at the moment. Here comes Michael Hammond. Let's see if he can match him. Not quite. He's the second fastest. But it's still 4 tenths to Rayhana. Let's stick with Hammond. That's a good call. Yeah. Let's go on board with him, actually. Why not? Let's do our track walk off the top.
So into the Retifilio, the Variante Retifilio. First gear. I know it says 6 on his dash there, guys. It is first gear. Run up through the gears. Keep it to the right. Faster cars, you'll venture out to the left, and then through the Curva Grande. Flat out. I think not too many cars you can't get flat out through here. Now we're up to Variante della Roggia. got to say with Italian accent. Brake it hard, back down a second. Monster the curves on the left. Try not to get too much on the right because it affects your run out. Plenty curbing on the exit. Up to the first part of the Lesmos. This one's a slower one. Excuse me. Fourth gear. And then on the exit of the second part, it's a very quick apex, but if you venture too wide across the curbs, you will get your lap, you'll get your 1x and your lap will be deleted. So that's turn 7, down the hill, underneath the old oval Grand Prix circuit right there, which is now a grandstand, as far as I know. Into the Variante Ascari, turns 8, 9 and 10, so apex, longer apex and then a quick apex here. You can venture very wide out here, even right up to the dirt. Mikey's keeping it nice and tight there. Went to the third sector here. Run down to the Parabolica. This is a very important corner because you're coming off one long straight and going onto another. So top gear, 6 gear, 230 kph. Back down to fourth. Early apex. Now he's drifting it wide. I keep it a little tighter, but that's just me. Here he is. He's coming back across now. And if you come right up against the wall and not get any 1x's. So what does Mikey get for a time here?
Let's have a look. Michael Hammond straight to the top. 900ths of a second between him and Jackson Rayhana. And it's going to be Hammond and Rayhana likely on the front row for the start of this race, which is coming up in around 4 minutes' time. Nothing better than the Greek talking about Italian. Oh, big one there for Brad Stonescu. I was just about to say, nothing beats the Greek talking Italian. It's kind of like shades of Bruno in Kingswood Country, for those of you that remember that classic Australian TV show.
My dad reckons I'm Italian, but anyway.
Yes. Here's this replay for Stonescu.
Straight over the middle. You don't want to hit those bread loaves. That's what happened.
He did well to keep it off the wall, but the lap is ruined. Oh, well.
And if that was a real car, he'd have a sore butt.
And probably the requirement of change of underwear as well. Let's have a look at the championship points coming into this round. Michael Hammond way out in front, as you can see, 128 points, 86 for Julia Mucky and 85 for Jackson Rayhana, 83 for Warwick Sharp, 78 for Josh Thomas, Chris Stark on 78, 70 for Brad Clank, then 69 for not only Pete Madsen but also Adam Coughlin. Josh Millard rounds out the top 10 on 68 points. So again, Hammond's championship to lose. And that's by virtue of the fact that he hasn't, that he's only missed one round thus far, whereas Jackson Rayhana has missed 3. Josh Thomas going off the circuit there. Brett Davis coming round now, up towards turn 4 and 5. The Variante chicane. Be interesting to see, of course, what we get when we get to the GT3 race tonight. Nick, we're focusing on the Pro-Ams this week, which will be good fun.
Yeah, look, we'll have an in-race reporter in Nico. But also, you know what? Let's give some of these other names a bit of airtime. See how they go.
Nico's only request this morning was, don't cross to me while I'm in corners. Chat to me while I'm on straights, which is a good thing. There's plenty of them around here, so we'll have plenty of opportunities to chat to Paul Nichols, no doubt about that. He's quietly confident as well, given practice times that we've seen from earlier in the weekend as well. A lot of boys putting in a lot of time to get ready for the 7th round of that championship tonight. 7th round of Intro to Wings here as well, of course. Don't forget 3 rounds left. Looking forward to seeing what unfolds over the next couple of weeks. Donington Park and then Imola. And then, of course, on to... Actually, I might have got that wrong. It might not be Imola, but Donington Park is definitely next. And then, of course... Oh, sorry, it is Sonoma round 9. And then Bathurst in round 10 for the GTs. But I believe the Intro to Wings is a member vote, Nick. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so once again, I've got to conduct another vote. Which is not a hassle, but I mean, it gives them a bit of a say in what's going on.
This is
Mr.
true.
Madsen,
I got a feeling they might still say Bathurst, though. Peter Madsen is still sitting 14th at the moment. You saw him on screen there a moment ago. Here's Liam Reston now. Reston's a name that we need to keep an eye on too. He's been in good form the last few weeks.
Well, his first lap's got him into 3rd place. Only a 10th off the pole.
Well, yeah, and only half a 10th off Rayhana. 500 separate, 2nd and 3rd.
Purple. He's using a lot of the road.
Keep it smooth. Don't get a 1x, don't get an invalidated lap time.
He's the last car on track now.
But he's only got 10 seconds, Nick. He might not get back to the line. He might run out of time.
I think he's going to run out of time.
And he's gone red. He's gone red, so it doesn't matter. Forget about it. He's third. Because that's the end of the session. That's the end of the segment.
There it is. Yeah. He's running the Formula 1 line there too on the exit, so you can carry more pace, but I do believe it gets you to the line a little slower. So our grid is set.
And it's not, we should point out, some qualifying sessions you're allowed to complete the lap you're on. Not in those 10-minute 2-lap solo qualifying efforts. Not in them. Right, here's the grid. It's going to be a standing start at the Monza circuit in Italy. The first of 2 trips to Italy this week for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Of course, we're back there next week for our TCR and Intro to Wing, our GT4 and also our Porsche GT3 night on the Wednesday. They're at Imola this week and Monza next week. Then they go to Phillip Island and Bathurst. Here leads us to Donington Park next Monday night, then Sonoma, then Bathurst with the member vote for Intro to Wings. There's the grid. Michael Hammond and Jackson Rayhana, Liam Reston and Glenn Cedar Riddell, the first 2 rows. Warwick Sharp, Brett Selbywood, row 3. Jared Daly, Chris Stark, row 4. Ash Phillip and Josh Millard, row number 5. Brad Stoyescu and Josh Thomas share row number 6. Row 7 is Marty Hughes and Pete Matson. And then a lot of no times. Brady McHugh, Brett Davis, Declan Reinhardt and Paul Jansen. So whether they start or not remains to be seen, and if they do, they'll be required to start from pit lane.
Yeah.
Chris Kisby's in race control. We'll check in with him at some point, I'm sure.
The Bear and Bull cars on the front row.
I believe Chris is actually enjoying coming into the commentary box more than he's enjoying race control at present. He has been enjoying his providing us with some guest comments and insights, and we've enjoyed having him on board as well. Excuse me. Let's get ready to start.
Race control coaching right now.
Excellent.
That's why he's down there on the live.
So we get set for a start. Who's your tip? Hammond or Rayhana? Or Reston?
Cedar Riddell, just to be different. Fourth place.
I was going to say, no disrespect to the rest of the competition, but I believe it'll be won by someone in the top 3 there. This is going to be probably an 11-lap race, no change. 20 minutes the journey, getting set for a start. Monday Night Motorsport from the Coliseum of Speed that is Monza. Racing now. Beautiful start from Rayhana. But equally as good start from Hammond as they make their way towards the first corner, 4 wide, further back in the pack as they're all looking for their first clean bit of real estate or a run out of turn 1 and 2. Now let's hope they don't wreck. Through they go. Rayhana's going to take the lead off Hammond, and Hammond's going to fight back on the inside through the left-hander as they make their way sideways further back in the pack. Behind Chris Stark there was Thomas, and now Rayhana and Hammond side by side on the run round turn 3 and 4.
Reston had a terrible
The run
start.
to the second chicane. Reston's made a shot, and you're absolutely right about that, Nick, and Hammond's going to go to the lead. Nicely done. Oh, up on the curb. Rayhana got the line on the exit. Does he look to go up on the inside? No, he tucks back and he thinks better of it. Cedar Riddell goes with them in the early stages. Reston was lost out completely. He's gone back to 7th, and Chris Stark, I think it was, up the road.
Yep.
A lot of action in the opening minute at Monza. We're going to have replays galore here in a moment, I'm sure.
So Liam Reston must have had it in second gear or reverse because he flew down the back of the field. He's now brought himself back up to 5th position. He's still 2 off where he started.
That's still a lot of work to do from there. Have a look at this, 4 wide on the run to 1. And somehow they kept it clean to an extent.
Jared Daly into Warwick Sharp.
Oh, no, that got messy.
3 wide's not going to work there. So Warwick Sharp, Ashley Phillip and Marty Hughes have taken a fast tow, quick repair, sorry. Who's this? Ashley Phillip, this is his demise. Oh wow, why don't we just join everybody out on the dirt? Don't floor it. Oh, this is why we have merging rules.
I knew what was going to happen. Oh dear. Here's Michael Hammond.
Watch Riddell.
And Rayhana. Rayhana to the inside. Rayhana to the lead.
I know these 2 are super aggressive, but if it were me, I'd just sit and hang and just try and get away from Riddell.
That's exactly right. Remember the last time they had 3 there when it really would have been a 2-horse race otherwise?
Yeah, exactly. Now they've been fighting. It's brought Glensudo Riddell here back into the fight. So it's going to be these three, I dare say.
It's hard to pick my favourite livery out there tonight. You've got the 90s old school McLaren Marlborough. You've got
The Rothmans Williams.
the Rothmans Williams from 94, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's some good liveries out there tonight. There's no doubt about that. And this one with Glensudo Riddell. It's a personal favourite because of the colour. Then you've got the 98, 99, 2000 McLaren livery as well.
So
Really
Reston
good
is
stuff.
trying to push hard to get back into some spots here and catch those front three.
Down the inside to go to fourth. Reston to fourth. Down on the inside of Brett Selby Wood. Job done. And cleanly and clearly before the corner as well.
So we got Chris Stark here in the Marlboro colours that you like. Facing Josh Thomas.
Synonymous with, 80s motorsport. You think of Peter Brock's Marlboro Commodores of the early 80s and the Toronto of the late 70s. You think of, obviously, the long association with the IndyCar team in the United States as well. And, of course, McLaren in Formula One. Fantastic stuff. Now Mikey Hammond down on the inside of Jackson Rayhana down the main straight. Look at Riddell trying to get the toe from Hammond as well. He thinks better of it, but he gets left behind.
That's Hammond.
In the lead.
They're just creating a bigger hole for him to catch up.
Exactly.
It's just like NASCAR restrictor plate racing. Just go nose to tail and try and pull away from it.
That was a taily, waggly moment from Riddell on the exit of 2. 3-3.
If they keep fighting, those other two are going to catch up.
Indeed, but that's good for us.
Oh, fantastic for us. It's not the way I'd do it, though.
No, absolutely not. On the run down to the chicane. At 4 and 5, through they come.
I love these still shots. Get to see all the cars' attitude in that.
It's not bad, is it? There's Riddell in third. Reston catching. Reston fastest lap of the race.
That'll be a 1x.
1:49.50. And
and that'll be a 1x for Jackson. So you can get, you got to keep 2 tyres on the black stuff, especially in those 2 corners there. So that they both guarantee they both have 1x. Oh no, they don't. There you go.
oh wow.
Oh, that's positions game. Sorry, my apologies.
I was going to say, yeah. If we can have a look at, let's have a look at the incident points. Oh, 2x for Mikey, 3x for Jackson. No wonder they're pushing it.
There you go.
They don't have to worry about their clean race. Here's Pete Matson under pressure from Josh Millard. Millard looking to the inside. Thinks better of it.
Millard's
Just quickly,
already on damage.
didn't even get a chance to run through this before we got underway tonight. It's been a fairly hectic start here. Obviously, you know this circuit is 5.79 kilometres. It's 11 turns. The race is 20 minutes long. Look at Riddell taking the wider line there through turn 11 onto the main straight. Hammond tucked to the inside and Rayhana goes with him. And Riddell is right in behind Jackson Rayhana at the moment, who pulls out of the draft now and goes for it down the inside, uses the power. Have a look at Rayhana on the brakes. Rayhana's going to go back to the lead here. Nicely done. To the inside at 1. Hugs the ripple strip through 2.
And
Look at Reston. Reston's right there. Here we go. Weather part of cloudy, 24 degrees. The track, 41 degrees. Very, very hot. Stiflingly hot. Circuit there, 3 kilometre northerly winds, and of course the setup identical to baseline. Pace car speed should be needed at 97 k's an hour. Pit lane speed 64 k's an hour, and now they're 2 and 2 wide. Hammond in the lead again, back down on the inside of Rayhana. Incidents 17x, and then every 10x after that. That's why they're not too worried about 2 or 3x at this point in time. That's all the info I've got to give you as they head out of turn 6.
I think at some point in the next 2 laps we might have to go roll bar camera from Reston and just watch the 3 up front, because this is going to get spicy real quick.
Indeed it is. I love how Rayhana and Hammond had so much time on this field. Stroyeski's had trouble back there in the pack as well. We'll get to that in a moment if we can. Rayhana back down the inside into the lead going into the Ascari. I love how these two had all the outright qualifying pace, but you correctly pointed out, if they keep squabbling, Reston and Riddell will go with them. Reston, we know, had qualifying pace. He got himself undone. Here's Reston down on the inside of Riddell for third, and Hammond on the inside of Rayhana for the lead, so they all swap over again. Now can Rayhana get the up and under? Reston will be mindful of that as well.
Reston's got some
The
pace here.
opportunity right there. Here we go. Reston might get the double toe.
No,
Hammond's going to hold the inside.
Oh,
Rayhana to the middle. And Reston to the outside. 3 wide down the main straight at Monza. Riddell wants to make it 4 wide. Get in there. Down to the first corner. Who's bravest on the brakes? It's Hammond going into the lead. It's Reston going through in second. Rayhana on his outside. Reston sideways on the exit of turn. Rayhana will get him back on the inside.
Far out.
Reston thinks very quickly to tuck back in and block the charge of Cito Riddell as well. As Nick correctly pointed out, it didn't have to necessarily come down to qualifying speed here. As long as you can stay in the slipstream, stay in the toe, you're a chance. And Reston has driven beautifully to get back from 7th on the opening lap. It's lap 5. We reckon there's only 11 in this race tonight.
Have to
If they're
apologise.
lucky, they may get 12, but I think it's going to be 11, Nick.
Have to apologise to anybody further back in the field that wants to get seen. This is just too good.
Apologise to anyone who's listening to this on full volume tonight. I apologise. You might need your eardrums
don't
checked tomorrow, but that's okay.
Go see a doctor
Down.
tomorrow. Not you, them.
Panadol, strepsils for me, and hearing aids for everybody else. Into the Ascari one more time. Seriously, I don't know how you put up with it for 6 months as they make their way, almost 7 now, as they make their way in. Down the back straight. Have a look at this. Riddell now just trying to stay with them. Reston's right there. Rayhana and Hammond are still side by side, and Rayhana's going back to the lead on the inside. At turn 11, Reston's with him, almost gives Hammond a touch through there. Riddell's dropping off a little bit, but he'll get the toe back as they come back onto the main straight. 5 gone, 6 to go.
Up against the pit wall.
At Monza. Oh, Rayhana's been left out to dry there, hasn't he?
He might
Just
have
the front drafting going on with Reston following Hammond through. Rayhana under brakes. Got it. Back to turn 1. The two teammates working together beautifully here, remaining first and second. Hey, as long as one of them leads, they're happy.
quality racing.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's fantastic. This is exactly how it should be. Nice, tight, clean and fair. Hammond up on the outside to set himself up nicely for 4. Reston's in there as well. If you're one of the teammates, wouldn't you be hugging that inside so Reston couldn't find a way through? That's what Hammond does. Nicely done. Reston sitting there nicely, charging all the way. We're with Rayhana at the moment. He will stick with his teammate through the back section of the circuit on the run down to the Ascari.
Reston's fastest lap is about 7/10 faster than anybody else's. So, I mean, did have a double throw.
Yeah, that's why he was able to charge back as quickly as he did, as well as he did, and now sits there in race contention. What about Cito Riddell? Is he still a chance?
I think he's actually just taking it easy, just checking out what's going on.
Rayhana to the inside. You're about to see Mikey Hammond on your right-hand side there, or your left as you look at it, folks. And there it is. Rayhana back to the lead. Hammond tucks in behind, goes to the outside down towards the Tamburello corner. The Parabolica, I should say, as they make their way down.
It's very easy to do. I mean, we had Imola last night in Formula 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As they make their way down and around. And Hammond and Rayhana still side by side. Rayhana's holding on by a nose at the moment. Look at Reston. Look at Riddell. We go on to lap 8 now.
Oh, jeez, where do you go?
Oh, lap 7, I should say.
Oh, here comes Glenn. Oh, jeez, Cito Riddell trying to make a full wide. No, he's back out of it.
No, he's backed out of it. He thought better of it. Rayhana's going to take the lead on the inside. Thank you, sir. Reston stays third.
It's like a fast-moving mobile chicane in front of a mobile roadblock.
New rule for Intro to Wings next year. We've just got to have circuits like Monza or Daytona, Talladega or Indianapolis. Anywhere that keeps them nice and tight.
Some news on that is we will go to a newer car as well.
Excellent.
And I will be handing the reins over, hopefully, if we can blood the person in, and they can do some choices there. Hopefully spice it up maybe, or even just keep it the same, because this is, look at this.
This is fantastic. Hammond back down the inside, back to the lead. Riddell up on the outside of Reston, can't get through. Tries the up and under, but lost too much speed through the corner.
This is 4 quality racers that know their car well, and know the track well, and are driving at the top of their game. Look at this.
On the run down to the Ascari. Hammond back down the on the outside, sorry, getting hung out to dry there as Rayhana goes back down the inside and back to the lead. It's getting confusing between the two teammates. It's been one of them in the front the whole way. Reston and Riddell haven't got a look in as yet.
Yeah, I think what's happening is one of the Bear and Bull cars pulls out, so then it kind of blocks the other guys who've got to run.
Oh, look at Reston!
Oh, too wide through
Couldn't get
Parabolica. This
Can
could
he
leave again
follow?
now.
Now he's going to try and go 3 wide down the main straight. Yeah, why not?
As well, yeah.
Track's done. 7 minutes to go. We're going to get 4 laps in here, folks. Strap yourself in. Here comes Glenceta Riddell down the inside of everybody. Riddell looking down the inside of everybody. Riddell's got his nose in front as they head to turn 1. Glenceta Riddell, you're going to the lead. Are you kidding me?
I knew he was hanging out and waiting.
What about that?
Watching what's going on and then look for his opportunity to strike. Now, unfortunately, he can't drive away because they're just going to tow back up to him. So he got 3 positions in that one move.
It's about our 15th different change for the lead tonight, but it's the 3rd different race leader. Here's Glenceta Riddell leading at Monza.
Just quickly, I'll go through it. We got behind this, we got Selby Wood, another 4 seconds back. Another 9 seconds back is Chris Stark. Josh Thomas, 19 seconds back. Brady McCune, 21. Or total of 21. Pete Matson, 26. Fred Stoyescu, 30. Brett Davis, 58 seconds back. Declan Reinhardt, 59 seconds back. They're the 12 cars on the lead lap. Ashley Phillip is still going around. Josh Millard had to pit. Jared Daly is out of the race, so is Warwick Hughes, Marty Hughes, and Paul Jansen.
I apologise. I haven't even bothered looking at my live timing screen so far tonight. This has just been too good at the front of the field here. So well done to Nick for walking you through all of that. Paul Jansen was a non-starter tonight, the only one in the 18 field, so that's good to see. Look at how far back 50s in Brett Selby Wood. That's how much this top 4 have gapped. Riddell's going to manage to do something that no one's done all night, and that's lead for an entire lap here.
The thing is, when you're by yourself, you got no one to tow. It's like going around. Once again, quickly relate this back to NASCAR. If you're by yourself on a restricted plate track, you're slow. So these guys are going to be faster as per being in a tow of 3 cars wide, apparently. Oh,
Hammond down the inside to the lead. Rayhana through the middle. Glenceta Riddell's got hung out to dry by the 2 of them, but surprisingly, as Rayhana locks it up at 1, but gets it out at 2 nicely, they left Reston behind. Reston wasn't able to capitalise on that as Riddell comes back down the inside to go back to 2nd. Less than 5 minutes to go. We've got 3 laps here, folks.
I think Mikey's got the biggest gap of all the race so far.
Strap yourself in and buckle up. Hold on tight, folks. Oh, Riddell wide. That allows Rayhana back to 2nd. Hammond's lead is about to be gobbled up. It's about to dissolve very, very quickly. That'll be a 1X, no doubt about that. But he won't care at this point in time because the clean race opportunity for Rayhana and Hammond expired very quickly tonight. They make their way down to the Ascari. Watch Reston. Watch Reston. Reston to the inside to 3rd. Yep. Thank you very much. Riddell's back where he was 2 laps ago.
It's ever changing. It's changing corner by corner.
Rayhana kissing the sand pit there, the gravel trap on the exit of the Ascari. But it didn't seem to slow him down any. He's looking down on the inside of Hammond for the lead.
Early apex.
Rayhana with 2 laps to go. As they cross the line, we'll lead them at Monza. Hammond's coming back down on the inside. Who leads them at the strike? It's Hammer. Hammer got back by the strike, I think.
Yep. So that bridges a finish line. So it's either blue helmet or green helmet.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. It's like the Melbourne Cup. You just don't know who's going to win it. Down the inside into turn 1.
Oh, it was nearly a touch.
Reston nearly getting into the side of Rayhana, but Hammer has managed to break clear. Hammer has managed to break clear. Reston around the outside of Rayhana on the run up to turn 4. According to the iRacing server, it was Hammer by 1/1000th of a second.
Look at the top speeds. Reston 254, 6 kilometers an hour faster than.
Oh, Ray Harder off! Ray Harder off! That might be it. That might be it for Michael Hammond. Ray Harder's run wide going into the chicane and cost himself an almighty truckload of time. Hammer is on his way home. Hammer has got the biggest margin of the night. Can Reston or Riddell do anything from there? Can Ray Harder get back into it? Let's wait and see. A lap and a quarter to go as they head under the bridge for the second last time.
Rayhana's front wing is compromised now, so either his top speed's going to be compromised or his turning ability. So we'll see how this pans out now. I think he's now just got 4th.
I agree. I don't think Reston or Riddell can catch Hammond.
I think he's
Stranger
just
things
picking
have
up
happened.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, let's have a look at Ray Harder. That front wing, as you say, it's not looking all that nice at the moment. He's cornering off.
Mid-corner understeer too now.
But let's wait and see what he can do in the toe here on the main straight.
I
Can
reckon
he
watch
do
second
something?
and third here.
Look at the puff of smoke, the fire from Glencedo Riddell. Oh, slap at Bonza!
Here we go. Rettifilio, turn 1. Just looking for a car to the left here. Is there a car? No.
Riddell remains third.
Alright, Variante del Roggia now. Second chicane. What happens? Jackson's right on him now.
Well, if ever there was an anticlimax to a race, this has been it. Because it should have been a 4-way fight right to the end, and Rayhana will be kicking himself. He gets down on the inside of Riddell to get back on the podium, but how long can he stay there for?
Up to Lesmo's 1. He's watching in his mirrors.
Back down the inside. No, Riddell thinks better of it. He might set it up to come onto the straight and get him in the draft on the run to the line. Right.
Lesmo's 2.
Through they go again.
Yeah, he's got a lot of mid-corner understeer now. Watch Riddell.
He'll get him on the run into the Ascari, surely. Hammer is home. Reston's going to be a gallant second.
Oh, I don't think it's
Reston
the
is
front
catching.
now.
Reston is catching. Just watch that run down to the Parabolica. Oh, no, he ran off the circuit. Reston's put it off at the Ascari. Reston has put it off at the Ascari chicane, and that's going to make it a 3-way fight here for third. The second, I should say. Rayhana on the outside. Reston compromised on the inside. Riddell looking across on the outside as Rayhana gets back up into second. Rayhana's second in the last corner as Riddell goes right around the outside of Reston. On the main straight, Michael Hammond take a bow. He's got the job done in the Monza Classic. Second, third, fourth, photos all right. Look at that.
Wow.
Rayhana got it. Riddell and Reston third and fourth.
Wow.
That is as good as you'll see on a Monday night anywhere in the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. I don't care what anyone says. Jackson Rayhana salvages second from nowhere. And he did it by 200ths of a second.
0.03 to Glencedo Riddell and then 0.06 to Liam Reston. Wow. That's ridiculous.
Extraordinary. Tell you what else was good. The battle, the finish between Brady McHugh and Chris Stark as well, I think it was. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Take a drink, Zach, because I think we're going to need it.
That was good stuff. That was really good stuff.
So still 2 cars to come across the line. Declan Reinhardt and Brett Davis. Can we flick back to them?
So Michael Hammond from Jackson Rayhana.
There's Declan.
In a Monday night classic as Declan comes across the line. That's Reinhardt, of course, in 11th.
And Davis.
And it just goes to show how quickly that blew out for those that weren't in the top 4.
You see why I try and keep it compact? Lots of practice, bugger all qualifying, and then a race.
Yep.
Just promotes good racing, especially somewhere like this.
Just look at some of those margins, and my apologies, it was actually Brady McHugh and Josh Thomas, not Brady McHugh and Chris Stark in that photo that you saw there for 7th. I didn't have the numbers on the screen at the time, but Hammond from Rayhana, look at the winning margin, 2.57, and then just 0.021 back to Riddell, and then another 0.05 of a second back to Liam Reston. Brett Sollywood 4th, a distant fourth, and then Chris Stark a lonely fifth. Brady McHugh had his work cut out for him, but got the better of Josh Thomas, seventh and eighth. Brad Strejewski, Pete Matson made up the top 10, then Reinhardt and Davis. Then, of course, Ash Phillip was a lot down. Millard, a retirement. Daly, Sharp, Hughes, and Jansen also retirements, with Jansen then on starter. It's worth pointing out. Oh boy, that was good fun. We'll debrief that a little bit later on. Jackson Ray Hunter will no doubt come in and join us. We'll get his thoughts on all of that. He salvaged second, and I don't know how. Only he will know in all of that. But what about Liam Reston, Nick? He bogged it down off the line, went all the way back to seventh, fought his way back, didn't lead a lap all night. Had the chance to catch Mikey Hammond, bugged it up in the Ascari, game over.
Yeah, and then he was second, and then within a corner he went to third. So unlucky, but I mean, you got to be in it to win it, and it's gonna, especially when there's a group of four. That's the first one to blink or first one to make a mistake is gonna lose out.
Indeed, he is.
Yeah, we watched the restart of the race. Reston got too much wheel spin there, got sideways, and then just everybody got a run on him.
And it's so easy to do. No wonder they were 4 wide on the run to one. I didn't realise how out of control Reston's start was, but he did well to gather her up.
Yeah, these cars don't run oh wow, Warwick Sharp getting T-bone there. These cars don't run a locked diff; they run an open diff, so it's very easy to just get one tyre fire or one wheel peels, and yeah, it goes side to side when you do swing the car. Wow, look at all the damage. 3 wide and they're still damaged. Yeah, it's very easy to do that, and so the power, depending which way you turn the car, will go to either side, and it's very easy. Whoa, that's a big one.
That's massive.
That's a hospital visit.
Yes.
I have to find out who that was. But yeah, it makes for interesting handling. Here we go, some more cars off the track here at the first Lesmos. See these first 5, or the first 4, very neat. I think that's what made the difference.
Absolutely.
Some great action shots here, especially these still ones with everybody driving through the frame. Look at all the damage, far out.
Ain't that the truth?
And just these 4 or 5 cars just jetting off into the future.
What a brilliant race that was, and that was the picture all night. It was Hammond and Rayhana for about 10 laps there, side by side. Riddell led her up along the way, and in the end, Rayhana put it off in the dirt on the penultimate lap, or not in the dirt, but on the escape road there on the AstroTurf, the runoff area at turn 4. That allowed Reston and Riddell up. Then a mistake from Reston on the last lap allowed Riddell into second. Allowed Rayhana into second on the run down to the last corner, with Riddell going around the outside to get third, which was fantastic. And then Reston, poor old Reston, from 7th on the opening lap back to second. That was as high as he got. Ended up 4th in all of that. Just goes to show the role that slipstreaming plays on this circuit. Oh, boy. Who's your driver of the night as far as that race is concerned? Who are you most impressed by?
Jesus, just Reston and coming back, but I mean, if it was perfect, he wouldn't have had that problem in the first place. Riddell for really sizing it up, taking his time, and being measured in his attack. Jackson and Mikey at the front just swapping the lead back and forth, but then once the other two started getting amongst it, it was a bit hard for them. But you'd have to give it to Mikey because it was mistake free. Like, yes, he did run wide, but he didn't toss it off the road anywhere. He didn't have a bad start. He got the pole, and it's always easier at the front.
Indeed it is. Well done, mate. Nice call, and well done to Michael Hammond getting the job done there from Jackson Rayhana, Glenn Setter, Riddell, and Liam Reston. That was just phenomenal stuff. We'll grab a break at this point in time, folks. What a race it was. Hammond, Rayhana, Riddell, Reston, and Selby with the top 5. Stark, McHugh, Thomas, Strejewski, and Matson made up the top 10. That's intro to Wings round 7. Their next stop is Donington Park, and that'll throw up racing almost as good as Monza did tonight, if I'm perfectly honest. It's just a nice, fast-flying racetrack that'll provide entertaining racing for intro to Wings. I think we're on the shorter configuration of the circuit there for these guys, and the GTs will be on the longer configuration, so that'll make it even more entertaining. So looking forward to that. That's next Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Look forward to your company for that. But stick around. We've got the GT3s in action on circuit when we come back. Round 7, but not the pros this time. It's the Pro-Ams, and we're looking forward to bringing that to you right here as the Monday Night Motorsport continues for SimShed Broadcasting and the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, rather, for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club on SimShed Broadcasting. I'll get it right eventually. We're here with thanks to the great people at LJ Gaindar and Central Coast Subaru, also Oculair, Flash Graphics, Simple Sim Computers, Racecraft, and also Stone Cold Racing. Zach Caban and Nico Pop with you for the night. We're back with Paul Nichols joining us in commentary in just a few moments. Stick around.
Back in a sec.
Right, mate. Sorry, I just cleared my throat. Good to have you company wherever you're tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the continuation of Monday Night Motorsport for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club on SimShed Broadcasting this Monday, the 2nd of November 2020. We have got 4 more weeks of this, 12 more nights of sim racing for 2020. And then we had a long, well-deserved break over Christmas and the New Year, and looking forward to launching into 2021 bigger and better than ever. Nico Pop still alongside yours truly, Zach Caden. We're turning our attention from open wheelers to tin tops. And Nick, a pivotal 7th round of the GT3 series, but instead of focusing on the Dennis Gaderick show, better known, of course, as the Pro Split, we've turned our attention to Pro-Am, where the championship picture is a little bit more compelling, it's fair to say.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more people in amongst it, but there's also some people who didn't do the pre-qualifying, so they're in this race as well.
Now, my Excel spreadsheet here, straight away, the action has started. We've got qualifying underway here, racing coming up very shortly. I'll get the track conditions and everything else for you in just a moment. My iRacing server just having a little bit of a hissy fit trying to load in tonight, so I can't give you all the conditions that I'd like to just yet. I will be in a moment. But what I can give you is the championship points. Now, the way Adam Lavis set it out for us when he put the Excel spreadsheets together, green means that they've been bumped up, red means they've been bumped down. So this means that the first 3, Brott Kelly, Matthew O'Grady and Carl Crowther, are no longer in contention in the Pro-Am split, which means we jump to 4th in the standings, which is David Riddell on 84 points. Andrew Hayes on 83 points, both in BMWs. Paul Nichols on 81 points in a Ferrari. And Thomas Martin on 80 points in a Ferrari. Scott Harris, the first of the McLarens, on 79 points. Then Doy San, the first of the Mercs, on 78 points. Ferrari at James Wilkins, 73 points. Ken Munro, the fourth of the Bimmers, I should say. The third in the running order that I've pointed out here. 72.5 points. Then a Ferrari of Curtis Williams on 69 and David Johnson on 67. Johannes Koch is bumped up, of course. He's on 64 points. Nathaniel Webber on 63 points. So it's nice and tight at the top. Take out that 4 that have been bumped up. There are 11 separated by 19 points, which goes to show you how very interesting this championship's going to be over the next couple of weeks. Why this round is so critical. Why we've actually scheduled it very nicely to be covering this round of the Pro-Am rather than the Pro. We did ask Dennis Gaderick to come and lend some expert comments, but I think he's still trying to get some brownie points back with the missus, so he might not join us tonight because he did make the comment last week, Nick, just to spice things up for Bathurst, that it might be in his best interest to sit out the next 3 weeks. He was going to sit out 2 weeks. He was going to come back and do Sonoma, I think, from memory. But I think he's now talking about sitting out all 3 because he should still be in the lead.
Well, this place is very high risk with the chicanes, the Lesmos and the Parabolicas being fast calls. This whole place is just, you're going to be under constant attack, and it's very easy to hit an arm cone and spin back onto the circuit, or someone else to do it, and then you come along deflecting. So, high risk circuit, very rewarding to drive, but yeah, I don't blame Dennis for taking this week off, especially around here. Fantastic track, don't get me wrong, but racing-wise, especially in Sims, as we see, who's this? 71. Who's 71? Oh, I can't see the screen. 71, Thomas Martin. Yeah, it's just high risk, you know. Take it off, have a bit of time off. Yes, get some brownie points back to the missus, and sit back and watch.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, we've got a flotilla of guest commentators joining us this evening, folks, and I'll get to them, gentlemen, in just a moment. But first, let's run through the track conditions here. The 2nd of November at 4:14 in the afternoon. Now, the clocks wound back in Europe last Sunday, so therefore, obviously, that explains why we're already looking at sunset-like conditions. It'll be very, very close to dark by the time this race is done.
Yeah.
Watch for the headlights to play a pivotal role in the closing laps. 5.79 kilometre circuit. Fuel limit 55% tank capacity. That depends. That might vary in terms of fuel burn and a few other factors, car to car, of course. one of the great variants of GT racing. Checkered flag out as far as this qualifying session is concerned. Partly cloudy day, 28 degrees. The track, also 28 degrees. The wind southeasterly 9 kilometres an hour. The qualifying, a 50-minute session. We've detailed why that is the case. The race will be 45 minutes. So first past the post after 45 minutes will be when the flag flies. 97 kilometres an hour with the pace car speed limit, and then of course pit lane speed limit 64 kilometres an hour. Incidents 20x, and then every 5x after that, fast repair limit of 1. Looking forward to this immensely.
Let's see if these guys miss out on play time by drawing out a safety car. I hope they don't.
Yeah, well, this is true. I hope not as well.
Do you want me to run through the grid?
I'll get you to do that in just a moment. I just want to bring in these commentators, or in-race reporters, as we'll call them. We've got Joe Baldwin here, we've got Paul Nichols here, and we've got Dylan Gray here. Paul, pressure's on you, mate, because you've qualified third.
Mate, I'm just going to do the pre-race announcement. We'll be back in a minute.
Okay, mate. Come back and join us very shortly. Joe Baldwin, good evening to you. Good to have you on board.
How you going, Zach? Good evening, mate. I've only just got in here with about 2 minutes to go to try and settle on.
Have you had any luck?
No, I just speared off at the first chicane. I'm currently 8th, but I literally walked in the door from work about 4 minutes ago. So I've done no practice. I've got no setup, so I'm just going to wing it tonight. Why not?
Now, are you in the AM split or the Pro-Am?
In the AM split.
You're in the AM split, right?
I'm not real good at is actually GT3 cars. I struggle in these, and I know it. So there's no point getting up there and being a moving chicane for all the other guys that are actually pretty good with them.
Fair enough. Well, this is good because that means we've got Joe in as an AM in-race reporter, and we've got Paul Nichols in as our Pro-Am, but we've also got Dylan Gray as well. And Dylan, you've qualified 14th, mate. You happy with that?
Wish I was closer up near the front.
It's all right, mate. It's a 45-minute race. Work your way forward. Baby steps.
Yeah, first corner's got to be very scary.
Just tether lightly on the accelerator through there and heavy on the brake. I think that might be the key. Go well. Whatever the case may be, go well. Paul Nichols will be back with us shortly, just doing the in-race briefing at the moment to get everyone excited. He is back now, actually, so that's good. As we say, Paul Nichols, this is an exciting circuit. It's an exciting championship. I mean, you're right there in championship contention once you take out the boys that have been bumped up. You're third in points, 3 points off the leader, David Riddell. It's all to play for. This is a critical point of the championship, considering that I think it's the top 11 separated by 19 points or something ludicrous like that in a field of 33. What are your thoughts going into this next 45 minutes?
Stay on track. First lap is going to be critical. I mean, seriously, going into those chicanes, the first 2 chicanes are going to be critical. Watch out for the action. I guarantee you there's going to be some. Hopefully I'm not involved in it. Hopefully I get through clean, but let's see what happens.
Rightio, Nick, I might let you do the honours of running through the grid, mate.
All right. Okay, we got on the pole Jacob Todd. He's going to lead us away from Rudy Cronstrom. Paul Nichols on the second row with Jay Waugh. We got Matt Dunphy, I hope I'm saying these right, guys, and then Andrew Hayes, Thomas Martin, and Dave Ruddle. Then we got Josh Fiora, waiting for him to grid up, and Curtis Williams, James Catchpool, and Jared Daly. Then we got David Johnson and Dylan Gray. We got James Wilkins and Anthony Cuthbertson, Mikey Hammond and Ben Del Hunty. Sorry, JP, if I'm moving too quick. Reese Belitho and Scott T. Harris, Paul Jansen and Chris Polly, Stephen Birchnell and Grant Gill. Grant Gill so far back. Jason Dunn and Ken Munro. Brett Selby Wood and Scott Melville. Mitchell Buckham and Josh Thomas. Pete Matto Matson and Brett Hewlett. And then we got Aaron Gray rounding up the field of 33 here. And they're going to start a roll-round lap coming into the Variante Ascari chicane. So it won't be long until they get onto it.
No, not at all. 45 minutes to the race, of course. The qualifying sessions for the GT3 series after the opening round were extended out to 50 minutes. So they've had a long qualifying session to get ready for this. And now we get ready to see who might prevail tonight. 1:48.6 was the pole time for Jacob Todd. Rudy Cronstrom has been the man to beat in recent weeks, though. But Paul Nichols has the edge as far as the championship contenders are concerned.
Just to point out how tight it is, Mikey Hammond just won the Intro to Wings, and we know he's good in all cars. He has qualified in 16.
Yeah.
That's how tight it is in the field.
Getting set for a start here. Field moves off behind the pace car. Jacob Todd, Rudy Cronstrom the front row, Paul Nichols from row 2. That's him in the orange and blue car you see there, with Gentleman Sim Racing Club paraphernalia plastered all over it. Good luck, everyone. We'll check in with Paul Nichols during the race. We'll check in with Dylan Gray during the race. We'll get an update from the from the AM split, I should say, with Joe Baldwin. So, at the end of this race, we'll also update you on how the pro split fared as well. Getting set for start. Nick, final thoughts?
I was just going to say, key to the race is turn 1 here. I'm thinking Paul and Joe and Dylan can hear me, is get to the inside and just defend, because it's going to be
Exactly
hectic.
right. Well, Dylan will need to get to the inside. Nico's already there. Getting set for a start. Very nice fluorescent colours on that Jacob Todd car. It's like the high-vis yellow, isn't it? As they come onto the main straight, looking for the start, looking for the safety car to peel off into the pits. The green flag, the wave. Round 7 of the GT3 Series. Let's go Pro-Am racing on a Monday night from Monza. Great start, clean start. Good start from Paul Nichols. Got the better of Rudy Cronstrom immediately off the line. Followed Jacob Todd down the line towards turn 1. As they make their way into the first corner, Cronstrom and Todd have swapped spots there in terms of Cronstrom went to the outside, Todd went to the inside, and that kept Nico at bay. So they make their way around for the first time, and we ride on board with our mates. Everybody through cleanly. Well done. The Pro-Am boys have been a little bit cleaner than the Pro boys throughout the course of the season. Here's Dylan Gray on the inside.
To Del Roger.
Oh no.
There's already a car on the inside there. I just see, and
it's gone round. And there are cars everywhere in that section of the circuit. There's a lot happening. I wouldn't be surprised if a caution got thrown. Have a look at this cartage. So Dylan's been turned here. Bang. On the exit. Just got clipped. But he wasn't the only one. There were 3 or 4 off in that part of the circuit. As they make their way down to the Ascari for the first time, and then they run onto the Parabolica. Oh no, off the circuit. That was the car in 6th place. That was Hayes, I should say. Hayes.
You can see on the track map though that everybody's still going, and I'm looking on live timing. No one has gone to the pits. So, Josh Fura. Other than that, look at him. Well done, guys.
I was going to say, Nick, this circuit is far better for open wheeler racing than it is tin tops, but these guys are turning it on all the same, which is what we've got ourselves in for. We've got this to look forward for the next.
Someone just got going again in the
So we think Jason Dunn's had an off-track excursion at the Ascari. Two cars. It's 2 cars. And Dylan Gray just self-confessed he was involved. That's him in the green and purple car there. So already 2 incidents for Dylan on the opening lap. No, don't worry about being worried about the first quarter, mate. You had to be worried about the other 10.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I shouldn't have made a move there. My fault.
David Johnson's just dropping down the list as well, so he had an off track.
Indeed he did. I've my internet's just playing silly buggers at the moment, so I've lost the live timing feed, but I've still got the Discord feed, so we'll carry on with that for the moment. 42 minutes to go here. Paul Nichols sitting nicely in 3rd place at this point in time.
Slow moving BMW.
Dave Riddell.
That's an interesting shot.
He's in all sorts of trouble there. Riddell, he's lost 4 or 5 places in one hit.
He's in all sorts of trouble with his profile photo too.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Here we go, Curtis Williams. Under pressure from, Andrew Hayes.
Into the Ascari. 2nd time through there. Jacob Todd leads Rudy Cronstrom, Paul Nichols, Matt Dunphy, Thomas Martin, Jay Waugh, then Curtis Williams, Andrew Hayes, Michael Hammertime Hammond, and then Dave Riddell making up the top 10 at the moment.
Just to point out, Hammond has made up 8 positions. We're only coming to the end of lap 2.
He doesn't muck around, does he? But that being said, Nick, I don't think the intro to Wings gives him any sort of an upper hand here because they're totally different cars, and the GTs are slightly quicker in terms of the overall lap speed.
Yes, correct. But I guess downforce does apply to these cars to some point, but as a percentage of the car, it's not as high as the open wheel is. But it still gives you a rough idea where you need to be positioned and track conditions, so to speak, because they're not too dissimilar. Oh, James Wilkins down the outside.
What a bold move from Wilkins, and very nicely done, cleanly done as well.
Ruddle and Bolitho in the pits.
Wilkins to 16th. That was Brett Selby Wood he got by, I believe.
So many big cars.
And a bigger field here than what we have for the Pro Split tonight too, folks. 33 on the grid, and we've got Josh Ford didn't start, but the rest of them did. So 32 took the start, 31 I think, maybe 30 still running at the moment. So good to see.
Mikey Hammond just made another spot into the, looks like turn 1 there, so he's up 9 positions.
He's not going to muck around tonight.
Stephen Birchnell up 10, Brett Selby Wood up 10, Michael Buckham up 11, and Josh Thomas up 11, and Aaron Gray up 11.
Beautiful livery for that. Although, actually, that being said, Michael Hammer's livery there, how long until that becomes an Ampol one?
Well, yeah, exactly. Caltex Australia have to rename everything, so yeah. 3 wide, far out.
On lap 2.
That's Paul Nichols.
Paul Nichols is involved in this, but he's just keeping out of it at the moment. He's just taking tough there on the outside, and he's been gobbled up, and he goes back to 6th.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
I love it when
with these yellow wheels.
Hey, it's very rare that a race driver admits that he did something wrong, so just take that as gospel from Paul Nichols. He made a mistake. We'll get to it in a moment. We're on board with you now, Nico. On the run down to 1. Down on the inside, you got the line. Take it, take both. Why not? 2 at once from Paul Nichols.
Hammond as well.
Very
Hammond
nice.
in the background.
Hammond was trying to follow him through.
Oh, there's a speed
Car off at 1, but it was after Nico had got through.
So
watch this from Paul Nichols down the inside. Thomas Martin's the one that we're looking at here, so watch this. Yep.
Oh, boys.
Martin and his accomplice there in trouble.
Oh, this car's crabbing. What's going on there? Oh, buddy, pull over. Oh, that could be hazardous.
It could be. It could be hazardous for a lap.
Oh,
So
another spinner.
No, we've got more trouble at the chicane.
Where to look?
Well, this is exactly right, Nick. I haven't even had a chance to check in with Paul Nichols yet, but I'll do that very shortly.
Pete in his McLaren, the flamethrower. Too fast on the entry, too much curve on the right, and then a subsequent spin as a result. And he tried to gas her up. I dare say traction control would try and cut in there. Good looking car.
Absolutely. Let's go on board with Paul Nichols if we can. There he is, sitting nicely in the top 5.
Watch Hammond into turn 1 here. I reckon he'll get us another spot. He keeps reeling
Hammer
up.
going up on the inside of Hayes. Look at this. This will be the... Yep, absolutely, Nick. As they run down to turn 1, Hammer on Hayes. 6th on 5th.
Aaron Gray up 15. Josh Thomas up 14.
Eyes forward, Nico. You're doing a nice job. We're on board with Paul Nichols now to turn 1. Hugs the curb. Rides the curb.
Just about to say, Mikey Hammond's done a casual 11 spots. Not as
Biggest
good as the
move
14 and
race
15.
thus far in the top end of the field, but Stephen Birchnell has moved up 12. Josh Thomas up 14, and Mitchell Buckman, I should say, up 12. 15 for Aaron Gray further down in the field. It's just to show that they are that far down. All right. I won't disturb him just yet because, as we said, Paul Nichols has only wanted to chat to us when he's on straights tonight, so we've got to wait about 10 seconds here, but we'll be able to get to him in just a moment.
Good thing
as
is
he makes his way through the Lesmos.
Good thing is we've got his little rear view camera there on the dash, and we can see if he's under pressure from anybody. He's got a bit of a gap now. I'm sure you can chat to him down here now.
I'm good now.
Not exactly the time to get complacent, though, Paul. Yes, you're sitting fourth. Yes, you're sitting pretty, but you've got that hard charging pack behind you, particularly one M. Hammond.
Mr. Hammond, hammer time? I think it's hammer time.
That's it. Exactly. Hammer time for you as well, because otherwise he'll catch you. We'll let you get through the Ascari. Very nice lines through there. We're riding on board with you at the moment, so if you muck it up, everyone's going to see it.
Thanks.
But as they make their way
pressure.
down to the Parabolica, the Pro-Am racing this season, mate, you've been a big fan of it, haven't you?
Absolutely, it's been fantastic. I think the skill level and the driving standards have been fantastic. It's certainly the split I need to be. It's certainly more competitive here, and the driving's been great. I mean, everyone's certainly stepped up. It's been a great season so far, and looking forward to the last round, where I think the top 10 is going to jump into the top split. So
that'll include your good self at this stage, which is good news for us. We'll have another in-race reporter. That last race, of course, 2 hours. You'll see it all right here on SimShed Broadcasting for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. 3 weeks today, Monday, November 23. Looking forward to your company. We'll be on. I think we've got to be on air maybe a few minutes earlier that night because of the fact that we've got a 2-hour race, but we'll work that out in due course. Through turn 1 and 2, all sitting pretty at the moment. Let's go back to our race leaders if we can, just to give you a little bit of an update. Jacob Todd leads Rudy Cronstrom by 4.5 seconds. Have a look at Todd taking it to the pack and walking away with it on the run down. This has been a phenomenal performance from Todd. Cronstrom has been the man to beat in this split for the last couple of weeks, if memory serves, and yet he's nowhere tonight. He's 4.5 seconds back.
First three are just spread out, but shot away from the rest of the pack from fourth back. So, you can see on your track map there, they're all tucked around the top end of the circuit there. So those first three just have the lap pace. What have they got? They've Jacob Todd in the 49s, Rudy and Matt in the 50s, and everybody else in the 51s.
What about third place, Matt Dunphy, up from fifth on the grid to third, and he's got 4 seconds on Paul Nicholls, which is, well, actually it might be a little bit more than that. Actually, it's an extraordinary margin from third to fourth. Nico, you had third on the grid. You've just not been able to go with Matt Dunphy. No,
it's because of 2 slowdowns. I've had 2 3-second slowdowns. That'll do it.
Absolutely. You need a safety car to get back into the mix now.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy too. I can do it.
Well, that's it. Exactly. I'm actually surprised you didn't throw one on lap 1 with all the carnage going on in turn 4 and 5, but that's okay. 33.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of time to salvage a top 5 place here, although 4th is in jeopardy because Michael Hammond's on your tail now. He's a second and a half away, so good luck holding him off. What's the secret to defending Mikey Hammond on a circuit like this, Paul Nicholls? Because he just seems to be one of those guys that finds a way around, whether it's around you on the outside or up on the inside or through the middle.
Might have to wait here. He's going into a chicane.
And as I say that, there's Michael Hammond closing right up. And
there's no secret. You just let him pass. I do.
Yeah, fair enough too. You just concede defeat before you begin. Yeah.
I know he's quicker than me, so why fight him? Like, really?
Well, that's exactly right. And we've seen it before on a Friday night, Nick. Road America was a perfect example. He didn't like being held up by Kester Ward, so he just drove him off the racetrack.
Yeah, Mike and I have driven together for, 3 or 4 years now, so I respect him. He's a great driver, so if he's coming up behind me, give him room, let him go.
Still 30 out of the 33 or 32 cars on the lead lap, so it's good so far. As we can see on the track map, first position is just coming around to the start-finish line now. So who's that in 30th? David Ruddle, and he has actually taken a pit stop too. So he's just going through turn 1 while these guys come across the start-finish line. That's still pretty good. You can see here Mikey Hammond's lap times versus Paul Nicholls, and it's a bit of back and forth, a bit more in the favour of Michael Hammond. But,
yes, because of those 2 slowdowns.
But
Did you get them on the same lap, Nico?
Nah, it's first chicane, got them, 2 laps in a row.
Okay. Because there was just 1 lap there where Mikey was showing on our leaderboard was 6 seconds faster than you.
Whoa!
On the outside of Hammond. Have a look at that. Oh, Andrew Hayes and Michael Hammond have come together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Andrew came in there very fast and then had to cut to the apex because he wasn't going to make the corner. And unfortunately, there was a car there. So
Keep fighting, boys. Keep fighting.
I dare say, yeah. Oh, look, in my eyes, Andrew was going a bit quick and then he had to cut across. So I dare say race control will be looking at that, Michael Porter. But what can you do? You can't disappear.
Well, that's exactly right. But I was going to say also Michael Porter's in control of the top split, so whoever's looking after the pro-am.
Good point.
Yeah,
Kisby,
I'm not
maybe?
sure. Possibly. There's no one in race control with Michael Porter at the moment, so Chris might be sitting down there on the coaching channel all on his own, playing race control for this split. Down the back straight they go.
Just notable mention, Aaron Gray up to 16th, up 17 spots.
So yeah, I think at this point in time we can concede that the top three have got unassailable margins at this point. Todd, Cronstrom and Dunphy. The action's going to be back behind with Paul Nicholls holding off Michael Hammond, but for how long we're not sure. Would you be happy with the top 5 out of this, Nico?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, top 5's always. I mean, top 10's always my aim. Yeah, top 5 would be great. It's all about consistency. You just be consistent. Yeah, if you're top 10, you're probably still in for a chance. The last race, double points round.
Considering as well that when we look at the championship standings, you are the best placed of the championship contenders. I mean, Todd, Cronstrom, Dunphy not in contention as far as my record sheets show. They're all sitting well down the order at the moment. So you are the best placed of the championship contenders tonight. You've got Riddell and Hayes covered. Of course, Riddell's well down the order and Hayes is sitting back there in 8th. So at the moment, it's all about consolidating and just staying consistent, I guess.
And not getting slowdowns.
Well, that's exactly right. But that's more up to you than anything else. So there's the incident point count at this point in time. Nicholls has got 2. Hammer's got 6 already. It's not about clean races for Mikey. It's about winning.
Yeah, push the limit, Mikey. Push the limit.
Exactly. 149.63 for Jacob Todd is the fastest lap of the race thus far. There's his lead all the way back to Rudy Cronstrom. It's extraordinary. It's massive. It's 5.5 seconds. Here's Jared Daly in 7th. Following Curtis Williams.
I'm actually going to give a shout out tonight to my little mate, Logan Dexter. Hello, Logan. Hope you're watching, mate. You might watch it on the replay tomorrow, but have a good day at school tomorrow.
That's it. Have a good day at school indeed. Rather him than me. I'll be sitting back watching the Melbourne Cup. Looking forward to that, actually. It's been a while since I've sat down and watched a day of horse racing.
Wrong
It'll be a Melbourne Cup unlike any other tomorrow with no crowd at Flemington cheering them on. So
still think it's the wrong horsepower.
Well, my old man, when asked about the Melbourne Cup, he said, "Why would I want to watch a good heap of dog meat running around?" So, I mean, everyone has their own opinion, I guess.
Or glue.
Yes.
Here we go. Hammond through.
Paul Nicholls up, back on the inside. Can't get the job done. So Hammer consolidates and takes 4th away from Paul Nicholls at that point in time.
Yeah, Mikey's got some damage.
Can he get the switch back? Not from you.
I'll pressure him anyway. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, you can put the pressure on.
There you go. There's the damage, as we can see from Paul Nicholls' nose.
That's it. Up on the outside. Here comes Nico. Hammer says, "No, get out of there, son." And Nico tucks back in. So Hammer has finally got caught and found a way by Paul Nicholls. And Nicholls yielded pretty convincingly there in the end. Didn't mount too much of a challenge. He didn't make it too difficult for Mikey, as he said he wouldn't. So, oh no, trouble there. Massive carnage on the main straight.
Wow.
Dylan Gray's involved in that. Was that
Great gill spinning.
Wow. Holy smoke. Have a look at this.
Pete Matson.
Let's go for a wild ride on the main straight. Pete Matson. Upside down. 3, 2, 1. And here comes the hit.
I think I didn't touch him.
Whooshka. No. Netcode. Or did the touch come from the other car? That's really bizarre.
Because
Either way, Pete tried to fly.
Wow.
I tried to do that
Mike
fake
is in the
move.
pit.
Freight going around the outside. He tried to cover me on the outside. I quickly dived down the inside. And then all of a sudden I hit this massive whack.
Yep. I'm not sure if it's net code or anything. We'll have to have a look. Chris Polly's in. Michael Hammond's in. Pit lane activity underway here.
Paul Nichols in. There's Grant Gill. He's recovered because he was spinning in avoidance and all that too. Because Grant Gill's got very distinct cars. He's under a bit of pressure now from Thomas Martin.
It's going to be nice and busy pit lane here.
The
Down
leaders,
the inside.
the leaders are coming up to 29th spot. Who's that? James Catchpole. They're slowly catching because they just passed David Ruddle. So I'd say now would be the time to pit.
Martin looking to get by Grant Gill here, Nick.
Drag strip. Drag
Don't worry,
race down the front.
don't worry, I'm
I got it
spitting
next.
words out the wrong way as well tonight. It happened. It's contagious as they make their way down to turn one. Can Martin get Gill on the inside? Yes, he can.
That BMW's
That
got some
was
great
bold.
line handling, but that Ferrari's got some great brakes.
Just having a look at where we are with regards to retirements. Reese Politho has manually disconnected, so too Brett Selby Wood. And that will be about it so far, so it's not too bad.
Pete Matson in the pits. Oh, here's another McLaren. There you go. Scott T. Harris. You can see on the windscreen there, it says
Not too
11.
many McLarens out there.
Yeah, exactly. He's got 11
But
on the
Harris
window.
is one of the championship contenders, it's important to note.
Yes.
8th in the championship, 9th in this race. Needs to move up a couple if he's going to be any chance of contending with David Riddell, Andrew Hayes and Paul Nichols in the points race here. Thomas Martin, 4th in the points at the moment. And Harris, I'll say that, but Harris is 5th in the points in terms of the revised order once you take out the top 3 have been bumped up. And the margin is 5 points between 1st and 5th, so it's not really much to be worried about the fact that he's sitting 9th at the moment. Just consistency is the key. Paul, have you come in for your stop yet, mate?
No.
No, okay. So we're waiting for Paul Nichols.
Oh,
Sorry, I thought Nick said something about him coming
yeah, I
in.
thought,
So
he, I
that's
thought he
why.
did. Must have been another car that's...
No, I'm
No,
doing
no,
it. I'm
must
sorry,
be
Nick,
another
I'm just trying to dry.
Rightio, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep our eyes peeled on you. We want to know when you're going into the lane and what's the game plan. So
Hammond
us
is
posted.
the highest placed of the cars that have pitted. He did a 15-second stop there, 15-second stationary on lap 10. He's in 13th position.
Don't forget, folks, we'll have a full post-race show coming up. If I can keep your eyes open. I've just started to hit
Five
the blinky
cars.
bills, unfortunately.
6 cars in the pits. 4 cars, sorry.
23 minutes to go here. So we're almost at that critical half-race distance intervention point where most people will decide, right, let's go and pit now. And then fuel it up home for an even stint. Rudy Cronstrom sits 2nd. 3rd is Matt Dunphy.
Running through the field now. Here's 4th, Paul Nichols.
Our mate going nicely round the Parabolica. Onto the main straight.
We'll have Jared Daly in 5th. There he is. And Pete Matson right behind him. Hayes in 6th.
Nico's got breathing space, there's no doubt about that.
Jay Waugh in 7th. Cuthbertson, where is he? There he is, in 8th. Scott T. Harris, here he comes in the McLaren, in 9th. And around at the 10, where is he? Aaron Gray, up 23 spots. Yet to pit, though.
Yes.
So, like I said before, Michael Hammond is the highest. Oh, so Chris Polly's in another Ferrari, so he must have pitted.
That would explain it. Chris Polly.
Mikey Hammond is the leader of the pitted cars. He is in 13th spot. So we'll see how this all shakes out. I dare say he'll be up there again up to 5th, somewhere around there behind Nico, or around Nico. So Nico's job now is just to bang in some low 51s and high 50s. while Mikey is caught in amongst a few cars here. He's doing 50.9s. There you go, Nico. So, yeah, just fast paced now. Is there a clear track? Yeah, Nico's got the biggest gap on the circuit now in terms of traffic in front of him. So head down, bum up, and try and leapfrog that Hammond fella.
Indeed.
Hayes here in the battle.
Not going to be easy to catch. Not going to be easy to catch Hammond either. It's important to note. Todd is in the lane, Jacob Todd. So our race leader has decided to come to pit lane. Rudy Cronstrom's going to therefore take the lead, but albeit momentarily, because this should be a clean and simple stop for Todd.
Yeah.
No repairs needed. No damage needing to be fixed. No fast repairs to be taken. Just a case of fueling up, maybe some tyres if you want, and away you go again.
Just looking at the track map, Mikey has fallen into a fantastic bit of road where there's no one around him, either in front or behind. So he's going to be banging away on those fastest laps. So Jared Daly, Paul Nichols, Matt Dunphy, those guys are going to have to really concentrate. Look at this, no one in shot.
Sometimes you can get lucky.
And he's still 4 positions better than what he started. So, yeah, just for Mikey, it'd just be lap consistently and lap fast. And Rudy in the lead.
So Rudy Cronstrom, the man that's been formidable and dominant in the Pro-Am split the last couple of weeks, heading down towards the Ascari chicane.
Will he follow, I've forgotten the guy's name. Where is it now? Jacob Todd, who's in now 8th place. Does he follow him in this lap, or does he keep going and try and run the fuel down and try and get a bit more speed that way? And does Jacob Todd get the undercut?
Well, I was going to say, that's the interesting thing. Do you go longer so you spend less time fueling up? You go now so you set yourself up for the rest of the race and can just focus on clean, consistent, fast laps? Hard to know.
You have live race control. Just 4 from Stone Cold Racing is doing race control tonight, by the way.
Oh, yep.
Well, we should have asked him to throw a safety car on lap 1 for all that carnage at the chicane. But no, it's good that 4 is in there in race control. Keeps we'll keep a top of everything that's going on and probably check in with us if needs be.
Todd's got traffic here, so this could hamper him.
Catch pole.
About to get lapped here. Not yet, he says.
Not yet.
There you go, take too much curb, and then Rudy's going to get a good run off at the corner.
So here's Buckman now.
Chasing down Paul Jansen, 3/10 behind.
So this is the battle for 19th and 20th.
Run down to the Ascari chicane. Looks nice with the Pennzoil livery on it too.
Certainly does. In fact, that was, as I say, all the time, one of the best things about this broadcast is seeing the liveries, because a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, a lot of time and effort goes into making those liveries, and they always come up looking spick and span. He's second place in the race at the moment, of course, Matt Dunphy chasing down Rudy Cronstrom, but it's 5.8 seconds the margin at the moment. Cronstrom's at the end of the back straight, whereas Dunphy's only halfway down it. Interesting to see who makes their way to the pit lane first, Cronstrom or Dunphy. Scott Harris, 15th at the moment.
Cronstrom's in. You can
Will
see the time
Dunphy
ticking away
follow?
at the bottom of the screen.
Dunphy goes through to take the lead. So we've got our new race leader for the first time. Well, actually for the second time tonight. Cronstrom led his first lap last time round. Dunphy leads his first lap this time round. And all with, of course, the former race leader, Jacob Todd, in 6th place at the moment, making his way around onto the main straight. So he sits 6th. But that will become 5th this time by as he goes past Rudy Cronstrom, who's in the pit lane, and Anthony Cuthbertson as well.
Rudy's on his way out.
Cronstrom's out of the lane, but not before Todd retakes the lead in the motor race.
So Todd and Cronstrom did 17-second pit stops. They're both within half a second of each other. Michael Hammond.
Paul Nichols yet to stop. Matt Dunphy, Jared Daly yet to stop.
Hammond's now up to 7th. So yes, only the top 3 now just to pit.
Interesting race, this one. It's had a little bit of everything. Only a third of it to go, though. Have a look at how dark it's getting at Monza. This is fantastic. Another sunset finish. We had one last week at Alton Park. Now we got one here at Monza. 4:52 in the afternoon, which is about the time the sun goes down in Queensland, if you want to be honest about it. It's not that early, but I'm exaggerating for fact. 15 and a half minutes to go.
Dunphy's in.
So Dunphy in the lane. That didn't take long.
So you can see
He's
there
responded to the pressure.
ticking away as a total time in pit lane, and then that red box or that red pit is actually going to be his stationary time when he's on the air jacks. And we got Paul Nichols in and Jared Daly in. So top 3 are in. And there goes Jacob Todd through Parabolica, so he's just going to fly past
He's
these
just going to gobble them up. Yeah, this is going to be a comfortable win for Todd, unless something goes drastically wrong in the last 15 minutes.
There's
Paul
no
Nichols
one
will be on his way out of line in just a moment. As he does, we'll chat with him. Here comes Dunphy out.
You can see on the map that Todd has absolutely pretty much got a full straight of nothing in front of him, so he's going to be putting in the fast laps. Watch Michael Hammond here, especially with these guys coming out. This is going to be tight.
Watch this. Watch this. Jared Daly. So Hammond's got by. Hammond has got by both Nichols and Daly. And Nico was 2.2 seconds slower than Jared Daly coming out of the lane in terms of his stop time coming out of the box. So Nico's lost enough time there to be passed by, but still hold off Daly on the exit of pit lane. I'll check in with him in just a moment. Let's go back here first. Chris Polly, all over the back of, is that our mate Dylan Gray?
No, that's the other McLaren.
The other McLaren.
Sorry.
Scott Harris, of course.
Scott T. Harris, that's the one.
Sorry, I saw the purple and green and instantly thought Dylan. No, I knew they were his favourite colours, but no, that's Scott Harris and Chris Polly going at it.
Grant
At the moment, just looking down the order, Dylan Gray sitting 24th. Can I check in with Dylan? Difficult night at the office, mate. That was always going to be that way after lap 1.
Yeah, I thought I could make it back through the field, but nah, just try and make it home to the finish now without getting any more incident points.
All right, well, keep us posted, mate. We hope it goes well. We're riding with you on board now. No pressure. Oh, boy. Dave Riddell on your tail. Grant Gill, Jason Dunn not too far away. Jacob Todd leads this race and does so by 7 seconds. Dunphy's closed up on Cronstrom as Dylan Gray gets taken by the car that was in front of him there, of course, Dave Riddell. Or the car that was behind him, I should say, but now in front, Dave Riddell. So Riddell gets up into 23rd, displaces Dylan Gray. Here's Paul Nichols under pressure from Jared Daly. I haven't checked in with Nico yet. I might have to do it very shortly as they make their way down to turn 1. Daly on the outside. Nico not making life easy for him, though. And Nico will hold on to 5th as they head into the chicane, but he's run it wide. Daly's going to get a chance to set it up here with a clean exit for the next quarter. Nico will make him work hard for it, though. Has the racing line, has every right to move across to the outside to defend, but now he's got to get it pulled up at the chicane. Daly gets by. Nico will look to fight back on the inside to remain in the top 5 here. No, he has to yield. He concedes. And again, it's a case of not making mistakes. And it was just a little bit too deep into that chicane for Paul Nichols at turn 1. But so many drivers have fallen at that corner in that instant, in that same fashion over the years. Nico, what can you salvage from here, mate? Because obviously that was unfortunate letting Daly pass there.
My own fault. Yeah, I mean, I had to give Dale's room, so it's all good. I'll try and catch him again.
All right, well, we'll follow that battle with interest, of course. It's lap 18 already, folks.
All right, just had a check-in with some guys in the top split. Apparently there was a massive pile-up, turn 1, lap 1. So I dare say the safety car for that. We'll have to check in.
I was going to say, what a surprise.
People get back, but it's Paul Mansell from Luke Turner, and then I believe Amrit Candola is. I'm just trying to say him over and over in my head so I didn't get the order wrong. I believe are the top three.
Candola's back. Candola's back. Interesting. Now, speaking of back, have a look at this. The battle for 11th and 12th. Scott Harris and Chris Polly. Harris to the outside. Polly, can he get up on the inside? Have a look at Chris Polly. All over the back of Scott Harris. Now throw on Scott Harris. To 11th goes Chris Polly. Harris wants to force the issue around the outside. At the Parabolica, as they call it, to the main straight, but no, Polly has him covered.
Ferrari v McLaren. What's the flamethrower down here?
Look at Harris. Forceful, and Polly driving it down the middle of the road. Harris back around the outside on the run to 1. Under brakes, Polly will hold the line. Uh-oh, we're hearing that Michael Hammond may have come unstuck here. Here's a look at the replay for Stone Cold Racing. Michael Hammond at turn 1.
He's moving on the timing screen, so let's see what happens here. Too deep under brakes.
Oh, yep. Okay, off the circuit, big time.
Take
Just
the
drive.
train and the slow down.
Or not, and because he drove straight through the cones there.
He's got 4.2 seconds over Jared Daly now. Highest placed Mercedes-Benz, you can see Audi from Ferrari, from BMW, from Mercedes-Benz. Paul Jansen and James Wilkins. Notice they're both in the skid control channel as well, so teammates.
Good to have the teammates working together, as per usual.
Good to have a good race as well.
Lap 20, 9 minutes to go here. We're inside the final 10. We're inside the final quarter of the race, the final fifth of the race, I should say here. Not quite the final, well, we're already into the final quarter, of course. 8:45 left on the clock. James Wilkins, Paul Jansen arguing over the same piece of real estate there as Nick just alluded to. Here's Paul Nichols all over the back of Jared Daly now coming into turn 1. He's right there, is Nico. I'll tell you what a fight from Jared Daly. Sitting 5th at this point in time. And again, if Nico loses out here, it'll all come down to that difference in the pit stop. Daly got out in 14.52, Nico 16.7. That's the difference right there. And I'll get back to Nico in just a moment.
Oh.
He knows I'm coming his way. He was, oh no, Daly with a slowdown on the exit of the chicane at 5. And Paul Nichols sweeps around the outside and back into the top 5. He'll be a much happier man now when we cross to him. Let's have a look at this on replay here, folks. We'll ride with Jared Daly. Now, I dare say this will be a slowdown triggered by Daly running wide.
Yeah, he ran wide, and I just touched him at the end there, but
that'll be it. Yep. We didn't see the touch until the replay. Nico, you hit that well.
It was a 0.
No idea.
It was his fault though. He was just slow.
Yeah, exactly.
Him, so he'll be okay with it.
That's exactly right. I was going to say, occasionally when someone's holding you up, you've just got to help them out of the way. You got to do it as swiftly, as sneakily as possible. So you got back into the top 5 now, Nico. 6 seconds up the road is Michael Hammond. I dare say that's probably out of reach. So you're just hoping to bring it home clean and tidy now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, we'll keep checking in with you. Such a difficult race, this one. But again, actually, while we're with you, Nico, what happened in the pit stop there, mate? Because obviously you were 2 seconds slower out than Jared.
I'd say I probably put more fuel in than him.
Fair enough.
I've got some pressure behind me now. Andrew Hayes and Dale's back behind me.
Yes.
A bit of contact, hey? I'll shut up for a while.
All right, you do that. We'll do our job. Oh, wide there went to James Wilkins, I think it was. And Scott Melville gets up on his inside. Melville chasing down Josh Thomas. Paul Nichols under all sorts of pressure here to remain in the top 5. He's got Andrew Hayes on his clucker. He's got Jared Daly right there as well. Michael Hammond 6.5 seconds up the road. They're not catching him. We've got 6 minutes to go at Monza, which I think next time by the line will be 3 laps. They might sneak a 4th, depending upon when Todd crosses the line. Can we keep an eye on that, please, Director? Todd crosses the line now, starts lap 22. My record, my count, says we get 4 laps now because of the fact that he got back before 5.5 to go. So my math says we're going to get a 4th lap in, and this race will run to 25 laps. But it will be by mere seconds. So these guys got a little bit of hard work to do between now and then. Paul Nichols under tremendous pressure from Andrew Hayes and Jared Daly. So it should be 4 laps to go for them as they cross the line, and look at this. Look at this. Nico's got pressure to the left of him, to the right with him. And he's just stuck in the middle of the pair of them, but he holds them off on the run to 1. Don't worry about clowns and jokers. These are serious races, left, right and centre. Nico holding on to 5th place. Jared Daly, Andrew Hayes giving him the hurry up all the way to the flag. But Jared Daly and all of that, the big winner, because he's got back up into 6th.
It's just a fast game of chess. If I put mine here, if I put my car here, where are you going to put yours? And moves and counter moves all the time. Got to think a couple corners ahead.
Got to think as far ahead in the game as you possibly can. It's a bit like driving on the main road. Got to look as far ahead as you can. At the moment for these guys, as you say, that's about 2-3 corners at most. And this is one of those circuits, and we saw it in the stock car race that we had here in the off-season, Nick, back in Season 1. Monza is one of those venues where you could spend all luck trying to set up a move if you wanted to, if you had to.
That's it.
But that doesn't mean there's a shortage of overtaking opportunities, folks. It just means it's so difficult to get a 10th or 2 tenths up on the car in front of you because of the slipstream effect, because of the pace, because of the outright speed of the lap. 3 laps to go.
Just looking
on his way home.
Just looking on a timing screen here. I know we mentioned it before. Grant Gill must have taken a big hit because I'm just looking at his pit stop time. It's ticking over. It's now to 10 minutes of pit stop time. So he's wanting to get back out there, but I don't think he has enough time. He's been in there for 10 minutes and 34 seconds now. Oh!
Oh no!
What happened there?
Oh no!
Chris
Anthony Cuthbertson and Chris Polly have come together. That was at turn 11.
Because Polly had pulled away from Scott T. Harris as well. Oh, he's in front. Oh, sideways.
Yep. And
Just got
he's
a bit
going
of
to get helped. So we got a bit of assistance in the second part of that, but the first part was all on his own. And therefore, like Nico said with his incident with Jared Daly, because he was already in the motion, it could well be that the stewards won't do anything about it.
You got nowhere to go, and when a car slides, it's always going slower.
Across the start-finish line. So Josh Thomas, we're watching him at the moment, sitting down there in 18th. Under pressure. Trying to find a way past Catchpole and keep Melville at bay. (1 minute 54 on the clock. Now, Jacob Todd just started lap 24. We will get to 25. Catchpole's into the first corner, so we will get a 25th lap here unless he wants to dramatically slow it down, which he could afford to do because he's got time. Matt Dunphy down the inside. This is all of a sudden the battle for second, ladies and gentlemen. As natural light starts to fade at Monza and the artificial takes over, Dunphy's gone to second on the inside of Rudy Cronstrom at turn 1. Have a look at this. He set it up beautifully. Got the slipstream, got the run. BMW power down the inside.
One of the closest fights on the circuit. Still hasn't finished yet because they're still going.
If not the closest.
Still half a second apart. And then you got
So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that.
Paul Nichols, Jared Daly, and Andrew Hazer in a tight battle as well.
Now, what Jacob Todd could do here is if he wanted to, he could slow down. He could just putt to the line in third gear if he wanted to.
Look at the gap he's got on the
and
track.
finish at this lap. He could finish at this lap, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to accelerate past the start-finish line with about 5 seconds to go and get another lap. So this battle is not over, and Rudy Cronstrom's going to have an opportunity here to bounce back on Matt Dunphy.
26 seconds. It looks like he might. Is he slowing down?
No, he's not. He's extended his margin. He's extended his margin. He's not 17 seconds away from the line. He's about 7 or 8. So we're going to get another lap here, folks. Across the line he goes to start lap 25.
7 seconds. There you go.
7 seconds up his sleeve. Well done. The artificial light taking over at Monza on a Monday night.
Gives all these guys an extra lap now to get the stuff done. Here we go. He's the closest fight on the circuit.
It's particularly important for Rudy Cronstrom, this extra lap, but may not be so very welcomed by Paul Nichols, who's under tremendous pressure here. Michael Hammond is a clear fourth, but Nico's got his rear visor full of Jared Daly and Andrew Hayes as they come round onto the main straight. 1 lap to go.
Daly with plenty of understeer there. He's going to try and scrub his front tyres out. He's got this lap to get it done. I think he's after some revenge and trying to sneak one up the inside of Nico. Nico's stitching the straight.
Nico driving it from left to right.
Nico is showing his seamstress skills. Left, right, stitching it up. Here we go. Where does Daly look? Turn 1, turn 2. No way through there. Get a good run out of turn 2. Looks like Nico's got a slightly better run. Through Curva Grande, up to the second chicane. Up to the Variante del Roggio. Oh, the Italian's getting me tonight. Where do you look here? Do you send it down the inside? Do you send it down the outside? It's not close enough.
Daly, no.
Plenty of curve on the left. Not too much on the right. Get a straight run out of here. Oh, plenty of curve on the right, but it looks like he's got a good run. I think Nico's using me as his spotter.
In turn 6. Keep your eyes forward, Nico. You'll be right.
Through the first Lesmo, through the second one. There's a critical run down here. Who cares about the 1Xs now? I'll be taking it.
Exactly.
Down the hill. As we... Jacob Todd crossing the line.
Checkered flag and at the ready. Jacob Todd gets the job done at Monza. What an emphatic performance that was. Scintillating and brilliant from first until last. But let's have a look at this battle for second and third. Dunphy got the better of Cronstrom. Now, Michael Hammond's going to get fourth. Don't worry about that. Now let's watch Paul Nichols. Under tremendous pressure here. He's got 5 cars all over the back of him.
Nico was
Down
sharp.
to the outside. Look at this. Round the Parabolica for the last time. Will he be able to get the up and under on the exit of 11 on the run to the line? Nichols and Daly. There was a little bit of a touch, but Nichols should be able to hold on and get into the 5th here. Yes, he does. Nichols gets the top 5. Daly in for 6th. Hayes, Ward, Williams, Harris, and then Cuthbertson will make up the 11, and Aaron Gray in 12th. What about that? Nichols had his rear view mirror full of headlights with the chasing pack there of Jared Daly, Andrew Hayes, Jay Waugh and Curtis Williams, and held them all off. Scott Harris got home 10th, then Cuthbertson and Gray. Magnificent stuff. What the hell are these two up to? Nico's just ejected himself from the server. That's okay.
If you see on that replay, Nico compromised his entry to the Ascari chicane. He turned in real early, which gave Daly a run on him down that back stretch.
Yeah, it certainly did. It certainly did. We're going to check in with some race competitors here in just a moment. We'll see if we can get anyone from the top split to come down and have a chat to us as well. We'll get some results there if you boys can help me out with that before too long. So Audi from BMW, Ferrari, not much has changed there. Mercedes in fourth, so 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. There was a McLaren in 10th and no Fords in the server, I don't think. So a really good result all up for Audi. Jacob Todd, what about that? A new name for the winners list. And a brilliant performance it was too.
Clinical.
Absolutely, from first until last to get the job done on Rudy Cronstrom. But not only that, Rudy got done by Matt Dunphy as well. 0.79 in it, but still, Dunphy got second, and Cronstrom, who's been the pace setter in the last couple of weeks, got done. Wow, really good stuff. Let's get a conversation here at the end of this round, and do so by welcoming in Michael Hammond. And Mikey, I want to start by talking to you about Intro to Wings, mate, because look, it's a great circuit, Monza. It's probably more suited to open wheels than it is tin tops. So your open wheeler run probably didn't serve you anywhere near the justice you'd like it to for the GT prep. But that race had a little bit of everything. You and Jackson Rayhana going out at hammer and tong with a little bit of Glenn Cedar, Riddell, Liam Reston thrown in for good measure, but you ended up getting the job done, all thanks to that mistake from Jackson on the penultimate lap. That allowed you to skip clear just enough to not have to worry about the slipstream and the tow that the others may have got from you.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, it was a fun race. It was funny in qualifying because Jackson did that stellar of a lap. My second lap, like, he was cheering on in Discord. I'm like, Jackson, he's like, what? And I'm like, look. And he's like, oh. Yeah, but yeah, that's all me and Jackson did for the Intro to Wins was just use the actual team method and just try to stay out in front.
But in doing that, you invited Liam Reston and Glenn Cedar Riddell into the mix. So it made it a 4-car fight, and what a fight it was, eh?
Yeah, it was a great fight. In saying that, you just can't break away from like the cars at the same speed. Yeah, even if you're like a 2-car, but just because it looks like they're working in a 2-car train as well, so they'll actually keep in pace and catching us. And especially when they got onto the back of our 2-car, which means they've got another double car draft on them, which, yeah, as you're saying, they were right on us.
Exactly, they were, and in the end, you were able to skip clear and get the win. As for this GT3 race, mate, not the greatest qualifying. That was to be expected, given that you were jumping straight into the service straight out of the Intro to Wing race, but you still started, I think it was 17th in the end. You moved up 13 places. Are you happy with that?
Did all right with one of the slowest cars now, which they've actually ruined the Merc. Like, absolutely love the car, but it's wrong now. There's absolutely no competition.
Interesting to note too, just before we go on, I was going to say Michael Hammond, one of the big movers of the night, up 13, but there was only one more than him, and that was Aaron Gray, up 21 spots from 33rd to 12th. So a really good performance there from Aaron Gray. Monza's always a tough circuit, mate. So much full throttle acceleration involved in this circuit, so it makes pulling up difficult. The brakes got a fair workout tonight, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, did struggle on the brakes with the Mercedes, like I said, because it's slow in a straight line and everyone's going that little bit faster than you. You can now brake them with the Mercedes. That's probably a strength that you get with the car now, and that's about it.
And what are your thoughts? Obviously, you step back from the Pro Split into the Pro-Am Split. Are you enjoying the challenge here?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, because I qualified in the Mercedes, that's why I didn't get into the Pro Split. Yeah, because it's so good. I'll keep harping on that all night if you'll let me.
Oh, mate, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like, because, as you know, I don't mind harping about a couple of things as well, and I'm sure someone's going to wind me up about it before the night is done. But with regards to you, only a couple of rounds left now. You've got Donington, Sonoma, Bathurst. Obviously Bathurst is one we all look forward to, but what are you looking forward to most about the first 2 weeks of that?
All track, so yeah, enjoy all 3 of them. should be close in all three as well.
Well, this is exactly right. Let's hope so. If it's anything like tonight. How'd you find the traffic tonight, Mikey? Because obviously the pit stop didn't impede you whatsoever. Your strategy worked beautifully. You pitted from fourth. You came out in fourth. All was good and above board there. As far as traffic was concerned, overtaking opportunities, we know there were a few overtaking opportunities around this circuit. But as I said to Nick during the week, or during the call even, I should say, it's one of those circuits where, because of the fast-flowing nature of it, you can set it up to about a lap. You can spend about that much time wasting, sitting behind, waiting for your moment, trying to set up and execute an overtake.
Yeah,
Jeez.
if you get the run on the car in front with the like I said, with the brakes, they're just huge. They just outbrake any car on the grid, basically. Yeah, and
You did well not to get caught up in that incident at turn 1 that we just saw.
yeah, I didn't even know about it until I seen the car going to my left. And he's got his car on. There's a car on your left, and I'm like, what? And then like, alrighty, there it is. Yeah, but it's big draft dependent track.
Yep.
And if you get beside him, and like you would have seen, if you would have seen it, a BMW got beside me and I outbroke him, and then he couldn't actually brake to get in the corner. He come across my nose and hit me.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you carried a little bit of damage during that race, didn't you, until the pit stop?
Yeah, I lost a really lot of straight line speed in the first stint.
Okay, just looking ahead, mate, because obviously Wednesday night we go to Imola for the GT4 and the TCR, and then of course the Porsche race to follow, and then they're here at Monza next week. Does this run tonight give you any sort of extra confidence going into, even though they're two totally different cars, the BMW and also the Porsche, going into next week, that just from a track times perspective?
Track time's always good if you're running the same track in the same time frame. Emma's going to be pretty good with the Beamer, but with that weight, like you would have seen at Road America, it just kills its tyres so fast, because I had that 2-second lead on Ben in one lap, and then by the next lap he was just harassing me like no tomorrow. And that's one thing with Monza too, because it's such a fast flowing track. It's just going to kill the left hand side of the tyres.
That's exactly, 100%. So we know what to expect when we get here next week, and obviously Imola this week will be just as entertaining, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a really close race, and I reckon it should be another good broadcast that you guys put on.
Well, let's hope so. Hey, just quickly on the subject, obviously you would have seen some of the Formula One stuff over the weekend from the Imola circuit. What do you make? Obviously, you're old enough, as am I, to remember the old configuration, both pre-centres passing and post-centres passing. What do you make of the way they've reconfigured the main straight complex there? Do you like it?
No, just get rid of it and take it back to the original track and let them fly down to turn 1.
I like your thinking. Hey, just quickly on that subject, looking ahead, because obviously you've made your feelings known about the Merca, so I'm glad you did. Looking ahead to next season, first up, and also I guess when you look at the Porsche BMW battle on a Wednesday night as well, are you thinking a change to the Porsche for the GT4 Hump Day series, or are you thinking a change of manufacturer in the GT3 series? What's going through your mind at this point?
Well, might have to change to the Porsche because the weight's kept up on the Beamer, because like it's just a really pig of a car to drive with the weight on it, even if it's like the 25 kilos that we've been using lately. It just smashes the tyres, so I reckon I'll be going with the Porsche, just try to give the challenge to Ben, like a proper challenge this time. And hopefully we don't be driving the GT3s next season, and we can go up to the big boys GTEs, which would be even better, I reckon.
Now there's an idea, and I hope our experts from the committee level are listening in here, both Nick and Paul. I don't think Nick is, but I know Paul will be in the background there. I might throw that question to them a little bit later on. Hey,
Well, you got all them nice making cars like the Porsche, the C8 now. Still got Ferrari, BMW, and all that. So, yeah, why not go to a faster class?
just having a look around here through some of the comments we got on social media tonight, and this is from our friends at Flash Graphics in relation to the Intro to Wings race. He didn't think the Interlagos race would be bettered for excitement, but boy was he wrong.
Yeah, if you could just get like the fast guys drafting like we were doing, like it's always going to produce interesting and fast racing. Like that run that Glenn got on us, like surprised me and Jackson, like really bad. It was like, where the hell did he come from? Because we could only see Liam behind us, and then Glenn just popped out from the nowhere to the right. It's like, I can't do nothing about it, Jackson. Like he's gone.
Yes, exactly right. Well, we've got you as well, Julian Mucky. Another comment here, and as someone that has his own liveries, and we saw you and Jackson rocking and rolling with the new one there tonight. What do you reckon? Because there seems to be a debate online now about. Whoa, geez, you did well there. With original liveries and also replica liveries. Where do you sit on that? Because there's a comment from Julia Mucky suggesting that the tribute ones, the replica liveries, have been done to death now.
Well, it's basically people's preference. Like that's what Trading Paints is all about. If it's livery that you like, you want to run, just run it. Unless it's a designated specific round that you have to run, like a specific livery, like a retro round.
That's exactly right, mate. Very nicely done, blunt and straight to the point. Hang there for me if you can. We'll get your thoughts on a couple of other things before we wrap up here. Curtis Williams, let me bring you in for the first time this evening. 9th, are you happy with that? You were involved in a thick and fast battle there towards the end, chasing down the likes of Jay Waugh, Andrew Hayes, Jared Daly, Paul Nichols, but also trying to keep the likes of Scott Harris at bay. So how was your night?
It was very good, thank you. Actually, no, I always get a bit nervous when Hammer is starting behind me, because I always know at some point in time he's just going to be coming up in that big wide Mercedes, and I'm going to have to leave him a bit of room. And then once he goes past, I try and hang on to him. But no, look, the goal this season is just to really stay in the top 10 and compete with that. Really like the guys that I race with. They're all an awesome bunch, and I think everyone's really respectful in this category. Of course, people come and go, so yeah, it was good fight there with Jay Waugh. Just couldn't catch him in the Mercedes, and this is actually the first time at racing in Monza for me, so happy with 9th.
First time at Monza, aren't you lucky? Hey, you've it fuels the fire. There's no doubt about that. This Monza, it's one of the great race tracks. Just going back to something you said there, Paul Nichols said something to us during in-race in-car reporting from Nico. We were talking about Michael Hammond creeping up on him, and he said, I'm just going to let him go. Is that your mentality as well, because of his experience and his class, in terms of it doesn't matter how difficult you make it for him, he'll always find a way through, so it's easier just to let him go? Is that the way you view it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Not most of the newbies don't know that, but after racing with Mikey for a while, yeah, absolutely, you just know that he's always faster, and always trying to learn something from him, but he's super good on the brakes, so let him past, and yeah, just run your race.
It always serves you well to just let him go. But that's the thing too, letting him past is easy. Staying with him once he gets past, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, he was in front of me, and I was sort of keeping with him for quite a few laps, and he pitted quite early, and I thought, I'll follow him to the pits, because I know he likes a good pit strategy. And yeah, as soon as we got out of the pits, he was just pulling away on me. So yeah, it was down to experience, but having a good time. Good to come into the race commentary, and shout out to the Gentleman Sim Racing Club for just being awesome.
Had a straight car busy, that's why.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good to have you boys here, and good to obviously be able to showcase the Pro-Am split. Maybe not the most exciting race at the front of the field, but the battle for the minor placings from Paul Nichols all the way through to yourself, Curtis, certainly made up for that in the closing stages. Really good stuff. And credit where it's due to everyone in the Pro-Am split as well, who kept it relatively clean on the opening lap. We didn't need a safety car, which was really good to see. On that subject, let me bring in Michael Angus and Luke Turner from the top split while they're here, and I'll get to a couple of the others in just a moment. I see Jackson Rayhana in it as well, and I think Jacob Todd's just... Is that you, Jacob, on GeForce Todd here?
Yeah, mate. Sure.
Beautiful. I'll get to you in just a moment as well, because there's plenty to talk about with our race winner from the Pro-Am split. Michael Angus, Luke Turner. Obviously, we showcased the Pro-Am split tonight, but we want to talk about the Pro split as well. Have one of you got results sitting there in front of you?
I can bring that up for you in a second if you give me a moment.
Thank you, Michael Angus. You do that for me, mate. Nicely done. I knew you'd be reliable. Excellent. Stay there, boys. I'll get back. Michael, you're the next person I'm coming to. Let me go up to G-Force Todd, Jacob Todd, ladies and gentlemen. And he was the Force tonight. Don't worry about G, the Force, because he rock and rolled out to a very comfortable win here in round 7 of the GT3 series and broke the winning streak that Rudy Cronstrom has started to ruck together there, Jacob, and a nice drive. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
What were your thoughts on that 45 minutes?
I knew if I got a good start, then I would. It'd be hard for Rudy to keep up with me because we're quite close mates, and we've been doing a lot of practice together. And I knew I had the pace over him, so I knew if I got away from him, then it was going to be all okay. Then I just had to focus on not spinning out or making any mistakes.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because, well, obviously coming into this round, when we had a look at the point standings, Rudy had only just come into the split in the last couple of weeks. Are you a newcomer?
Yeah, this is my first race.
So this, see, this is the great thing I love about it. The first night that we showcased the Pro-Am split, folks, we get a newbie to the club or a newbie to the series, straight to the bloody top. Excellent stuff. Mons is a great track, particularly for your car.
Yeah, well, I didn't actually expect it. I thought the Ferrari would be pretty strong. I knew the BMW was good, but I thought the Audi would be a bit weak. But no, it was good.
Certainly was, and obviously looking forward to seeing what you've got to offer over the next couple of weeks as well. Interesting to point out as well, you remember Dennis Gaderick swapped from Ferrari to Audi in between seasons in the Pro split, folks. I mean, there's something about the Audi in Season 3. It's really ringing true. Hey, looking ahead, Todd, Jacob, I should say, let's just fast forward to the next couple of weeks because we've got Donington, we've got Sonoma, we've got Bathurst. I take it now that you've got one under your belt, the fires in the belly, you want to come back for more?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be definitely returning for the next couple of weeks and trying to take a couple more wins or podiums at least and just see what happens.
Indeed. Now, I'm just wondering, I don't think Adam Lavis is with us tonight, so I don't think I'm going to be able to give you guys rolling championship points as we go here, but that's okay. If worst comes to worst, we'll update championship points on Wednesday night in our broadcast, which unfortunately coincides with State of Origin, but as I said to you the other night, folks, State of Origin on one screen, us on the other. We've been here with you right throughout the pandemic. It was State of Origin that got pushed back, not us, so we were here first. Come and join us Wednesday night, and we'll give you Origin updates along the way if you're lucky. Jacob, looking back at the race, it was clean and clear sailing for you. And Mons is a difficult circuit if you're stuck in traffic, but if you're out in front, it's one of the best on the calendar and one of the easiest to master, isn't it?
It is a very lovely track when you're got a 10-second lead.
Exactly right. When you look ahead at those next couple of tracks, Donington, Sonoma, what stands out for you there?
Donington and Bathurst, to be honest. I have not done much running at Sonoma, so I'll have to do some practice.
Absolutely, hop to it. But obviously a fan of Donington.
Yeah, I do. I do quite like it.
All right, mate. Well done. Good stuff. We'll let you go on that note. First timer in victory lane, Audi on top. It just seems, doesn't matter which server we're in when it comes to GT3s on a Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. It's the bloody Audi's dominating at the moment. The German make on top here yet again. So well done, mate. Very nice performance. We didn't see much of you because we were so enthralled in the battle that was happening for the minors behind you. But every time we saw you, there was no one around you because you were just that far ahead of the competition, and now Rudy's got to try and up his game for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Indeed, it will be. Well done. Great drive.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Per performance from Jacob Todd to win this round of the series. Matt Dunphy second, Rudy Cronstrom third. Of course, Cronstrom, I should say. We haven't got either of them in the chat room here. We've got Mikey Hammond, though. We've got Luke Turner. And now we're going to Michael Angus to tell us the results from the prize split. Go, mate.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting, well, not an interesting, but a Ford on top in the pros tonight.
Wahee!
So
About
Paul
time.
Mansell led from start to finish, 25 laps in front, an incredible run there. So he did well, had Luke Turner in second, pushing him all the way, and Paul Rogers taking out the podium. How far do you want me to go down, mate? Rattle down through them?
Go down the top 10 for me, please, mate.
Maverick Benson, 4th, Amrit Condola, 5th, myself in 6th, Richard Mitchum, 7th, Paul Wood, 8th, Pariana Starkus, 9, Daniel Birchnell, 10.
Okay, Jackson Rayhana, what's your excuse?
I'm not sure if it's been mentioned already, but on one there was a pretty extraordinary pile up on the back straight.
Yeah, we managed to have, I think, half of the top 10 wiped out.
On the run down to the Scoury?
Put it this way. I started 20th. I was 7th by the end of the first lap. So, I mean, I did get caught up in. I did send poor old Glenn Riddell to the moon.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was. Even before I got there, there were cars, on Jupiter. So
Yes.
yeah, it was interesting. I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car because there was a lot of cars that were involved in it. And I was one of the few, if not the only one, who stayed out and just braved the damage. The car was straight, but I was really lacking top end. I didn't even get out of 5th gear, so it was a pretty ordinary 8-9 laps. But as soon as the pit window opened, I came in and I was about a litre short on fuel, unfortunately. So just had to limp it home from 11th. I think I went from 11th back down to 14th across the line.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah, considering the damage and the fact that I was doing 153s for half the race. 14th was pretty good. I probably should have been 11th, but we did what we could, and on to next week.
See, this is the thing. Even if he misses all 3 of the next 3 weeks, he obviously sat out tonight. He sits out next week. I don't think he's going to do Sonoma either. Dennis Gaderick should still be on count back leading this championship going into the final round at Bathurst. He might do one of the next 2 just to give himself a little bit of a buffer going into Bathurst, but at the moment he's still sitting pretty, especially with all that carnage in there tonight. Jackson, I'll come back to you. Michael, give us a little bit of a summary of your race. Obviously, that pile up on lap 1 sounds like it was a biggie. I'm looking forward to seeing someone's on board of that in due course, because the one night that they have a monster pile up, we're watching the other split that behaved themselves, but that's okay. But give us a little bit of a rundown of your night, mate.
Yeah, I think there could be some good YouTube footage going around this week after that one.
I'm working on an edit as we speak.
I was going to say there should be some good slow-mo. Maybe you can get a blimp shot. I think you might actually hit the blimp at some point. No, it wasn't a bad night for me. Qualified in 11th, and I sort of saw the carnage unraveling in front of me and tried to really back right off it and managed to somehow weave my way through probably 6 or 7 cars that were facing the wrong direction on that back straight. I think Jackson came right down my inside as well. I saw him sort of cop a little bit of a hit too. But no, just managed to get through there. I knew from that point that the boys in front were a little bit quicker than I was, so just tried to manage the time and the tyres and get home. And Amrit actually was one of the cars that got caught up. He came back through from, I think he dropped down to about 15th and got back up to 5th. So I was watching his name pop up the leaderboard and knew once he got to me that probably not much use getting in his way, because I think he qualified up the top somewhere. So no, overall, mate, pretty happy. P6, I think it might be my best finish in the GT3s, which is nice. And shout out to the teammates. Pariana Starkus in 9 had a cracker. Andrew Goldman in 17, I think, is his best finish in the class so far. And Yanni sat out tonight smartly for his wife's birthday. So
yeah.
No, overall it was a solid night for our team, which is nice.
Indeed. Hey, Luke Turner just sent me something there, but I haven't been able to get back to it in the Discord, so I'll get to it soon, mate. But come in and join us in the chat here. Give us a little bit of a perspective, a little bit of a rundown of your night, if you don't mind.
I'd love to know what happened, Luke. All I saw was the carnage. I don't actually know how it all happened.
Mate, I I was lucky. Paul and I just managed to get through it. So Paul put it on pole. Amrit was second. I was third. I think John Merritt was fourth. Actually, everyone was really well behaved down at turn one. So I was expecting to get Monzed, but we all got through. And then I could just hear things on the radio, and in the rear vision mirror I saw John Merritt, like on, as you come out of the first chicane, he just dropped it on cold tyres, and then through Ascari, Amrit dropped it. I think it was the Amrit one that sort of set off, from what I could hear on the radio, all of the carnage that happened. So luckily that was all in our rear vision mirror. Lucky you didn't commentate it, Zach, because it was a little bit of a procession. I pretty much stayed following Paul Mansell the whole time, saving fuel, sitting in his draft. That GT40 is an absolute weapon in a straight line. I was quicker than him through Ascari and the Lesmos and Parabolica, but he just checked out on the straight. So I needed the tow to stay with him. But he also managed to save fuel too. I thought I was the smart one saving fuel and I'd get him in the pit stops. And no, he still got like a 3-second gap on me in the pit stop. So look, he outclassed us all tonight, but for me it was a pretty good result. 0 incident points, which is hard at Monza, but it was probably a pretty boring race up front in our split.
I was going to shout that out for you, Luke. You're the only one in the field with 0 incidents, mate. Well done.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't get
well done
in there, so I thought I'm gonna pocket these points rather than trying to chase him down and risk spinning it.
Well, that's exactly right. Smart gameplay from yourself. Well done. Nick, that must fill you with a little bit of pride, a little bit of happiness, because at long last, after being the...
Before you go any further, Zach, no. It wasn't me driving, so no.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, after being the custodian of the Ford and being the bloke that flew the flag in the last GT3 series, someone's finally come out and done it justice for you?
Well, I mean, yeah, good on him, but no, it doesn't bring any joy to my heart because I wasn't the one driving. Plain and simply.
Fair enough. I can't disagree with that. I understand exactly what you're saying. All right, let's continue the discussion here. Michael and Luke, I'll get your thoughts very quickly, because obviously, when you have a big crash like that on the first lap, it quite often turns into a little bit of a procession. And to be fair, the top three here was a bit of procession in Pro-Am as well. So it seemed as though that was a common flavour, a common theme across the two splits tonight. Joe Baldwin, stand by. I'm coming to you shortly to get some AM split information, but. Michael and Luke, obviously with that behind us now, 3 rounds to go, all eyes on Donington and Sonoma. What are your thoughts going in there?
I'll jump in first just because I don't have a lot to add. I haven't been on the next 2 before. I'll have to buy those next week. No, I think it's going to be a really great tussle to watch the boys right at the front. I think, seeing Paul come through, I'm not sure if he's won yet, but he drove an absolutely cracking race, and Luke's gone from strength to strength this season, particularly coming up from the M split last season. So it's going to be really cool to watch a few of these boys fight it out, and hopefully some of us fellas down the sort of the mid pack get a little bit lucky like we did tonight and pick off a few, and then get on to Bathurst, where we all obviously know the track back to front. So
it'd be an interesting concept, actually, racing it back to front. But I think we'll just stick with the way we've got it for the moment. Luke, your thoughts?
Mate, I love Donington. It's got a soft spot in my heart. When I was young and I lived in England, I remember going to Donington a few times and watching Casey Stoner ride 250cc's there.
Nice.
Old school track. Elevation, fast. You start cutting the grass and you've got a one-way ticket to the wall.
Exactly.
A little bit like Zandvoort, and like the Porsches coming up on Wednesday. I love these old school European tracks like Imola, Donington, Brands Hatch. I can't wait. And I think
circuits
will go all right there. Yeah.
Exactly. Circuits with a little bit of character. I was only saying that to someone the other day, that it's been good to see some of the old school tracks back on the calendar, because when you look at something like Abu Dhabi or any of the Herman Tilke design circuits, they just lack a little bit of that character that the old school circuits have, and Monza is one of those. It is just phenomenal. Imola, of course, Wednesday night. I know you're looking forward to that, but I'll ask you the same question I asked Mikey Hammond. Do you like it the way it is now, or would you have preferred the old school configuration into the last corner onto the main straight there?
I'll go. That was from Michael. Sorry.
You're right. Michael Angus and Luke Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I prefer the old format. Like when I was a kid too, I used to do lots of Micropros Grand Prix, so I drove around there.
Oh yeah.
I went to actually went to MLR for the 10-year anniversary of Senna's death. So, they had Gerhard Berger driving all the JPS loaders out there. So again, it's another old school European track that I can only dream about one day going around. In real life, it'll probably never happen, but yeah, I do like the old school layout with the bus stop, kind of like how Spa, we've destroyed Spa too, not having the old bus stop in there too, but that's personal opinion.
Sounds like you would have been a good guy to hang out when you were younger, Luke.
Beer and motorsport, that's what my life consisted of.
Nothing wrong with that. That's, I'm not a beer drinker personally, but if you can throw Canadian Club in there, I'm all with you. Hey, let's throw the conversation around here. Let's go to Joe Baldwin before we lose him, of course. It's, getting close to dinner time over there in the West. So, Joe, how'd you fare in the AM split? Mate, we know GT3 isn't your forte, but AM split has been fairly competitive so far this season.
I'd call it character building.
Yes.
That's the way to put it. No, unfortunately, I sort of got in. I don't have a setup for this track, for this car. As you just said, I don't do GT3 a lot. This is about the only sort that I do. But I think I qualified 8th, was 4th by the end of the first lap. There was a bit of a fracas in the first chicane. And I got behind one of the other guys there. I raced with him last week and had a good race. And on lap 3, he got loose at a Ascari, and I sort of took evasive action, spun, and just had to wait for the whole field to go by. So it was race and chase for the rest, and I clawed back up to 7th in the end. So from the back of the bus up to 7th, I'm reasonably happy with that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was about a second off per lap from. I haven't seen him come before. Eric Thorpe, he was pretty quick and had a good race with Lee Williamson. Yep. I think for the most part, but it was just a recovery drive. Unfortunately, Frank made a bit of a mistake at Ascari, and I didn't touch anyone else, or it didn't affect anybody else's race, which was a good thing. But I got to watch a few of the backmarkers plying their trade, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Well done. Thoughts on the next couple of weeks, Joe? Obviously, Friday nights are busy, but as far as Monday nights are concerned, what do you think of Donington and Sonoma?
Donington is probably going to be good for somebody else, but not me. I've never been able to get my brain around the place. But hey, look, I said that about the track we were at last week, Alton Park. And last week, for some reason, it just clicked. So who knows? I may be lucky next week, but Donington's never been somewhere I've fared well. I like to be able to see the apex, and you can't see a lot of the apex here with the corners over the brows of hills and stuff like that. But I'm certainly looking forward to Bathurst, obviously. Raced a lot with these guys. And where was the third track?
I said Donington, Sonoma. Yeah, Sonoma. Yeah.
Oh, Sonoma, I can't wait. I love the place. It doesn't matter whether we're there in a rally car. It doesn't matter whether you're there in an Indy car or a NASCAR or any configuration. I just love that place. It's hard. It's tough. It's got big curves. You've got to be smart around there. And it's just, I don't know. I just like the place. So hopefully I'll have a good run there. I did get offered to go up into the Pro-Am split, but I'm not in the championship at all, and there's no point in me going in there and plonking around and ruining anybody's race. So I'll just stay down here where I am and get whipped by the newbies.
Paul Nichols, if you're still hanging around, can you unmute your microphone? If not, I'll know that you've actually gone off to have a wine. Nick, in the meantime, I'll come to you. I think Nico is gone. What are your thoughts on the next couple of weeks? And also, when we get to that last round, what Nico was saying earlier is because the fields are now a little bit in excess of that 62 number that we need for Bathurst, it looks like it might be half of the Pro-Am split coming up into the top split for the final week rather than the full Pro-Am split as it was last series.
It'll be interesting. But look, hey, I know the stock cars obviously because of my series. I know the stock cars, all the tracks are pretty straightforward from here on in. They're all American circuits. As for the GT3s, hold on, I have the list in front of me.
Copy that.
Where are we? So, oops, Donington Park. Then it's followed by Sonoma, Mount Panorama. So I mean, great circuits, all in the pipeline. Obviously, member vote for the intro to Wings. But who knows what we'll get there? Just bring it on. Just keep plugging away. It's been really good this year.
It certainly has. It's. I guess it also says something about the growth within the club series to series as well, like season 2 to season 3, because of the fact that last season we didn't have a problem making it one split for that final round, but it looks like this time we are going to have a problem because of more numbers. So that's a positive sign going forward. The club is growing.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Michael Hammond, the mystery question for you. Given everything else that's going on with Caltex at the moment, how soon will that become an Ampol livery that you run tonight in GT3?
I know Mikey doesn't paint his cars, so
no, that's true.
Unless someone else does it, I'd say it's going to stay Caltex.
Are you there, Michael? No, okay.
He's got Tasmanian service, doesn't matter.
Good old Tasmania. We'll get back to him soon. Jackson Rayhana, let me go to you in the meantime. Can we go back to Intro to Wings, please? Because that was phenomenal. We thought the Interlagos race was good, but you boys really raised the bar tonight, along with Glenn Cedar Riddell and Liam Reston. That was just top-notch entertainment from first until last. However, you kind of deprived us of a grandstand top 4 finish because of an incident on the penultimate lap. However, you somehow redeemed yourself and salvaged second. Talk us through that last 2 laps. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, top 3 a few weeks ago, and then it became the top 4. And of course, the more cars you add, the more interesting it's going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, Mikey and I are always going to have an advantage as long as we run it up the front, top 2, because everything we do sort of up to the last couple of laps of the race is pretty much it's planned, so we know exactly where we're going to be 200 meters or so before we get to the corner, so that always helps, and it helps defensively too, because it means that quite literally we've got 2 cars blocking the track, and I'll be making a move on Mikey,
I mentioned that.
Yeah, at the same time, we'll be defending from the guys behind who are trying to get past. So it'll definitely make it a challenge. The only way, I guess it makes it easier for them to get past is when I make a mistake and spray it wide like I did. Which, yeah, as you said, I had to really dig deep to get those positions back. But, look, we finished 1-2, and any 1-2 for the team, we're happy. We're over the moon.
Indeed, and it was a brilliant 1-2 tonight. Of course, helped by the fact that Liam come unstuck into the Ascari on the last lap there. But hey, you've got to be in it to win it, as they say. Looking ahead, I'll ask you the same question that I somewhat asked Mikey earlier. When you look at next week and the fact that you're back here on Wednesday night next week, Monza, for the latest, what will be round 8 of the Hump Day Pilot Series, and more importantly, in your case, the Porsches. For another GT3 outing. Because there's such different cars, I don't see that there's too much of an advantage coming your way from running on this circuit, other than perhaps just track time, straight, simple track time.
Yeah, I mean, Monza's a tricky place. And as we saw tonight, especially in the top split, I always call it a death trap.
Yep.
It's quite literally whether it's the first chicane, the second chicane, it's a track that really widens and then closes up pretty quickly. So yeah, look, it's more. I reckon the first couple of laps, if anything here, staying out of trouble and keeping your car clean is more than important. And again, that's the advantage to running with Mikey, a teammate at the front tonight, is that we we know each other, we trust each other, we can pull a gap and race at the same time, knowing that we're not going to hit each other. but yeah, you're right in saying that they're very different cars. Like especially between the GT and the Porsche, they look similar and they race together sometimes in multi-class racing, but they're just worlds apart. So yeah, they're different, and I guess Monza's a pretty, simple track. It's almost like an oval. It's probably as close to an oval as you're going to get on a circuit car.
Yep.
But yeah, look, the cars, as far as the cars go, they're just worlds apart. So, of course, you'll need to do your time, bide your time, and do as much practice as you can whenever you can fit it in.
For sure. Hey, I didn't realise that we did have Adam Lavis with us tonight because points are getting updated as I speak. So good to see that Adam Lavis is on deck. He hasn't just dropped into Discord, so that's why I thought, hang on, he might be having the night off. But no, I do have updated points for Intrader Wings and also the Pro-Am, the Pro Split, I should say, of the GT3 series coming your way before we go off air here. Nick, I'll get a final thought from you in just a moment. But first, driver of the night.
Geez, there's so much to unfold in terms of driver of the night, but from what we saw, intro to Wings, great fight between the top four, really. It was just hammer and tongs for those guys, but in terms of the GT cars, you just really can't look past Jacob Todd. Just absolutely flat dominated, wiped the floor of everybody, and still had plenty left over. So it's going to have to go to him for the GT3s, in my opinion.
I agree with you 100%, and of course, good to see Ford finally getting a win there through Paul Mansell in the Fords in the top split of GT3 as well. That's the only honourable mention I'll give there tonight, and of course, it's amazing, isn't it? He and Guy Leach were right up the pointy end together in that first week of the series, but just Guy's not been able to go with Paul in the last couple of weeks. Jackson, since you're the only... actually, no, Luke Turner's still with us. We'll get Luke to unmute his microphone and come back and join us for just a moment. Same question to you. When you look at him, the fact that you're going to Monza next week in the Porsches, do you take anything from tonight into next week other than just the fact that you've had track time because of the fact they're different cars? What's your mentality?
Oh, jeez.
No, Jackson, Luke.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I've already asked you that question. Sorry. Luke, jump in, please.
Mate, much the same. I think the key to Monza is qualifying at the front. I hopped on a few officials this week.
Yep.
And it was either throwing my keyboard out the window with frustration or I had a great result. So you got to qualify up the front. You got to be patient. It's all about the draft. Fuel save when you can, because that is pretty important at this place, because it's just flat stick. But it will be interesting in the Porsche because it'll be all about the drafting. You know, with the GT3 cars, like Paul and I were going around, he was much quicker in a straight line, but I had him in the corners. But as soon as I'd go and try and pass him, I know that GT40 would just go around me. Whereas in the Porsches, I think when you get a run on someone, you'll be able to hold it for a lap. Be almost like racing skippies, I think, around Monza. But yeah, key is get up the front, get through chicane 1, 2, basically the first lap. And I think also with the really long braking zones, I can see some late race carnage in the Porsches as well, because those cars are everything about the brakes. That's what makes you set a good lap. It's all about the brakes.
True. Nick, I wouldn't just be worried about last or late race carnage. I'd be worried about opening lap as well.
The whole race.
Yeah.
The whole race, because as we've seen, people start sending smoke signals with the front brakes, and then they'll screw up the down change, or they'll lock the rears and carry the brakes into the corner too much and spin. So it's a car that you have to be really diligent on the brakes, braking, how you brake, where you brake, how late you brake, how hard you brake. So the guys, the guys that are good on brakes generally rise to the top.
Indeed they do. Thanks as always to the great people at Stone Cold Racing, Racecraft, Simple Sim Computers, Oculair, Flash Graphics, Old J Hook again down on Central Coast Subaru for their ongoing support of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Thanks to our team at SimShed Broadcasting for bringing the event to you this evening, and thanks of course to all the great people of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club that are involved from an entertainment standpoint as drivers and also as post-race and in-race contributors for us as well. We really do appreciate that. Jackson Ray Hunter, I'll come back to you now. When we look ahead to the next 3 weeks, fairly busy, of course. Donington, Sonoma. But this week alone, Friday night's going to be a lot of fun because you've got Barber Motorsports Park in the supercar and Sonoma in the NASCAR and the stock car. So, you've got the best of both worlds over the next few weeks. You've got a couple of trips to Sonoma, a couple of trips to Monza. You'd be happy as Larry.
Oh, Barber. Man,
Yeah.
my ears prick up whenever someone mentions Barber Motorsports. I don't think we do enough racing around there. I don't think any
True.
series does enough racing around there.
Not
It's
at
just
all.
a fantastic track. Sonoma, last time we went there in the stock car, I was very green. So, and I think I still did pretty well considering. So, I've done a lot of stock car racing since then. I'm actually doing a fair few officials now as of late to get even more practice in. If anything, I'm probably driving the stock car more than any car at the moment.
What about the influence of Nico Pop, ladies and gentlemen? Have a look at that.
Well, now I'm the same as him now. He's all about
That's it.
open
Sorry.
wheel. Not a complaint.
No, not a bad thing. No.
Not a bad thing. I never said bad, just an influence. Yeah, no. So, where was I? Yeah, Sonoma. Last time I was in Sonoma, I was pretty green. So, hopefully I've learned. I think I've learned a few bit. Well, I'll try again. I think I've learned a fair bit since then. So hopefully we can go back to Sonoma and have a repeat result from not last Friday night because that was shocking, but from Bathurst. Take the form on from Bathurst and have another crack.
Speaking of shocking, I don't know what was worse on Saturday, although I think your old boy was fairly happy on Saturday night. I don't know what was worse, the Queensland election result, the Wallabies playing strip, or the way the Wallabies played. There was some shocking action in the rugby union on Saturday night, but the old boy would have been happy with the All Blacks, mate.
Oh, the whole household was happy. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we're an All Blacks household.
And well done. No, they deserve another Bledisloe Cup. They may keep winning it until I'm dead, ladies and gentlemen. That was just phenomenally good. 18 on the trot, and not looking like being beaten anytime soon. Dead set, I turned on the television and saw that the score was 26-0, and then I saw our playing strip, and I thought that we'd been mistaken for Australia A. It wasn't the case. It was just the Wallabies had chosen an Australia A-like strip. And the reason I say Australia A is if you remember the cricket 94-95 when both Australia and Australia A were in the Benson Hedges World Series Cup against England and Zimbabwe, to differentiate the two, Australia had predominantly yellow with green stripes, and Australia A had predominantly green with yellow stripes. So as soon as I saw the green strip, I was like, oh, hang on, it's Australia A playing. It may as well have been. And as I said, the only other bad result of this was the Queensland election. But that's another topic that I'm sure Chris Whittaker looks forward to getting stuck into me about on Friday night, or next time he's with us, probably next Monday night. So whenever that is, I look forward to that discussion. In the meantime, Paul Nichols is back with us at this point in time. Have you enjoyed a couple of wines post-race here, mate?
What are you talking about, Zach? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But in summary, mate, because we were going to ask you a question there earlier, and I can't even remember what it was now. But with your race tonight, 5th place in amongst that competition, the fact that Jacob Todd has come in first up and won, that's a good sign going forward that you're going to have more competition there at the pointy end of town. Also speaks volumes of the credentialed drivers you're racking up as a club. The fact that someone can just hit the ground and go straight to the top. And when Michael Hammond's 4th, you know you've got good competition.
Yeah, Mikey's certainly got some competition this season. I think we've got some probably some of the best sim races in Australia, I think, are in the club. You look at Brenton Hobson, Amrit Condola. Who else do we have? Oh, Jackson Ray Hunter is pretty good, I think.
He's all right. Yeah. He goes okay.
Oh, still an up-and-comer, mate. Getting there, though.
Yeah. Nico Pop, we've got some fantastic drivers in the club, and it's I think that's the good thing about the club is that everyone brings each other up, and we're always helping each other out and giving tips and some really good coaching going on as well. I mean, you look at Dylan's results over the last probably this season as well has been amazing. Just some really good coaching. I think coaching is really important, and you look at I think the club's grown based on that basis.
It's grown in a few ways. Obviously, the fact that we've had a world global pandemic that's helped the club immensely. The fact that people have then used sim racing as a way to get their fix during said pandemic and then post-pandemic as well, because some real-world activities have not, some states are resuming faster than others. I know Queensland was all second last back to the racetrack behind everyone but Victoria, of course. Victoria slowly but surely getting back there. I know Winton's planning something for December, so we wish everyone the best of luck there. But it's been a strange old year, but sim racing the big beneficiary, and it's great that more and more people, as word gets out there and sponsors come on board and the broadcasts continue to happen, more and more people, a la Jacob Todd tonight, are getting on board. And I know more members by the week, Paul. You're always putting up a post welcoming new members, and there's no less than 5 in any one of those posts.
Today there was 21 new members to the Facebook
Exactly.
page. They're up to 345 paid financial members. So this month, as of October. So that's your number, Zach. Hello, Zach.
No, it's fantastic. Sorry, mate. No, I just had one of those little moments where the internet just didn't want to go, didn't want to agree with anything that was going on there. I had your name lit up and couldn't hear anything coming through. So I'm trusting that I can still be heard now.
I said 345 was the member number.
Yes, no, I heard that part, and then it just went silent. So I was hoping that you'd keep talking, but no, that's all right. We're all good. 345 is the paid number. I've made a note of that. It's great to see the club edging ever closer to that 350 mark, and hopefully 400 by early next year. Your driver of the night, Paul Nichols, because we've got Nick's insights on that. But yours?
What's that, your vote? Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, your driver of the night, please. Who do you vote for? Not me. I don't have a vote.
Wow. Okay. For the second split, broadcast split. Wow. I'd have to put my hat off to Mikey. Like, to come back from where did he start? Actually, I haven't got the figures in front of me. So, yeah, 17th.
17th.
Yeah. So finish, was he P4? Was it in the end? I think P4. Yep. Yeah.
Just ahead of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
Mikey.
sorry. He was 11 seconds ahead of you, but yeah, he was just ahead of you in the finishing order.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. No, well done. All right, so yeah, hat off to Mikey, and also, of course, we already said about Jacob Todd as well. So well done there. Jackson, I don't know if I asked you this question. I asked the other boys as well. I did ask Mikey, but you would have seen Formula One last night. You would have seen how they've reconfigured the main straight there, taken out of the chicane just as you. Just before you come on to what used to be the start of the main straight there. They've taken out of the chicane. It's now just one long drag. Do you like it the old way or the new way?
I mean, it's Imola. Like, Formula One cars around Imola is pretty spectacular as is. Yeah. So, regardless of the track layout, I think it's pretty cool seeing what, how much quicker, like, cars. Like, I've watched a lot of GT racing there lately, and just seeing, like, especially the amount of speed carried into that second chicane before the hairpin, you start going uphill. Just the amount of speed being carried into there compared to other cars is just mind blowing. I mean, as far as layouts go, they've obviously changed it for good reason.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it takes away from the spectacle of a Formula One car going around there at all.
No, not at all. I was more looking at it from the sense that without that chicane there's one less overtaking opportunity, because now you're just fighting for track position all the way down to what is now turn one. So
they never really passed into there anyway, and if your name's Mika Hakkinen, you hate that chicane anyway.
That's exactly right.
So,
you're referring to the incident in '99, yeah?
At least with the no chicane there, it's a long drag strip to make Tamburello now a really good passing spot rather than just a passing spot, if that makes sense.
Very true. Yep. No, that's a fair point. Looking forward to everything that's to come, fellas. Thank you very much for your time tonight. Let's have a look ahead as far as the Gentleman Sim Racing Club is concerned. Excuse me. All this time we have all these aspirations of signing off, getting off here at 10 o'clock, and it always ends up being 1:15. But we're glad that you stick with us, folks. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. plenty still to come over the next couple of weeks, and a lot to be excited about. But Adam Lavis actually is. Sorry, I was just about to wrap up, and I'd realised Adam Lavis has just dropped into the house. So I assume I'm going to be able to run through championship points, mate.
Should be right now.
And I just can't hear Adam at the moment, but I'm assuming that's a yes.
Should be right now, yeah.
So that's all good and well. Let's run through here and have a look at the championship points then for Intro to Wings first up. And Jackson will want to have a listen to this as well because he's jumped up to second in the standings. This is on count back, of course. Michael Hammond, 160. Jackson Rayhana, 113. Chris Stark, 99. 98 for Josh Thomas and 95 for Warwick Sharp. Julia Mucky on 94. 85 for Pete Matson. 78 for Josh Millard. And then a tie for ninth between Justin Schwercourt and Declan Reinhardt, 77 apiece. So I still can't hear you there, Adam, but I can see your name lit up. So I'll come back to you in just a second. GT3, I'll run through the Pro-Am and the Pro split, and I may be able to even sneak in the Am as well, but we'll see how we go. Dennis Gaderick, 176, still way out in front, as you can see. Did not race tonight, but he's still sitting pretty. Let's be perfectly honest. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, that's better, Adam. I can hear you now. 45 points the margin from Gaderick back to Luke Turner, 131. This is, of course, taking drop rounds into consideration already. So, I mean, Dennis is going to have another drop round, but Luke's got a long way to go in terms of catching Rayhana, but he is the best placed. 1 point ahead of Paul Mansell, who's on 130. Then Paul Rogers on 113. John Merritt at 103, 100 each for Maverick Benson and Guy Leach. Then you go back to Yanni Sorderia, who missed the round tonight, 95, 93 for Emmerich Candela and 85 for Richard Mitchum. Just going back to you there, Luke Turner, for the moment. 45 points. It's a big deficit to try and catch on Dennis Gaderick, mate. But if you unmute your microphone there, yep, can you do it with a win next week? Start to put a little bit of pressure on him, because once the drop rounds come into play, a win next week will actually bring you a little bit closer. You could be sitting pretty with a couple of rounds to go, and who knows what happens at Bathurst.
Yeah, look, I think I've already had my 2 drop rounds because I was away for work. I definitely haven't the Porsche. Maybe I've had one in the GT3.
Yeah, one here, mate. One here. Yep.
Yeah, look, Dennis is just a class above at the moment. I aspire to beat him. But look, I think he's sitting cool. I think he's got it in the bag. I think the rest of us are fighting over second onwards. So look, I'd be wrapped, considering last year I was in just not even the Pro-Am, the Am. So I'll be stoked with the podium in the championship.
All right. I can see that Adam's still feverishly working away at the Pro-Am points and also the Am as well, so I won't go to them tonight. But I'm glad that we were able to at least update you on what's going on in the top split there. We'll update the other point standings on Wednesday night if someone reminds me, so just check that all out. Boys, thank you very much for your time tonight. Sorry, Adam?
It should be ready. I just haven't sorted it. There you
go. Okay, cool. Thank you, mate. Let me refresh it. I'm still getting it all jumbled all over the place, so that might just be me. There we go. It's come back now, so that's good. Excellent stuff. And of course, Wednesday night, we're looking forward to your company. Adam will be back in the director's chair, and I believe we're swapping roles in round 9. There'll be a little bit of, round 8. It might be that we're not going to have. We were going to have a delayed broadcast on the Wednesday night, but we're now actually going to be able to be with you live on Remembrance Day. So looking forward to all of that. Here we go. Paul Nichols, he's on mute at the moment. He can't hear us. He's second, but he's essentially the leader here because Brock Kelly's bumped himself up been bumped up into the top splits. So 105 for Kelly, 103 for Nichols, tied with Andrew Hayes. David Riddell, 99 points, 95 for Matthew O'Grady, who has also been bumped up, 95 for Scott Harris, 94 for Thomas Martin, 87 for Curtis Williams, 86 for James Wilkinson, Kial Crowther on 85, but he's also been bumped up. So the next 3 that make up the top 10 here, 79 for Doy Sand, 77.5 for Ken Munro, and 74 for David Johnson. But what that means is 103 for Paul Nichols, back to James Wilkins in 9th place on 86 points. Take out the other... So that's 4 and 3. So that's 7 drivers separated by 18 or 17 points. Game on in the last 3 rounds of the Pro-Am split. We'll be keeping an eye on that with a heck of a lot of interest and looking forward to it immensely. Now, as far as the Am split is concerned, Joe Baldwin sitting second at the moment. Lee Williamson out in front on 125. Joe Baldwin 95. 94 for Brad Doble, I should say. Won't worry about Jay Waugh. He's bumped up. Declan Reinhardt is on 77 points. 74 for Chris Kisby. 71 for Doug White. Kim 4 on 71. So too Corey Horton. Jeez, there's a lot on 71. 68 for Adam Coughlin, but he's no longer in the split either. So that brings us back to the 11th place tie between Eric Thorpe and Luke Keamy that'll bump up into the top 10 on 61 points apiece. So there's 63 points between first and 10th, but very congested in that, particularly from 5th down, 77 back to 61, I should say. Only 16 points there, about 6 or 7 drivers. So really promising signs of what's to come. Adam Lavis, thank you for punching all that out for us. Jackson Rayhana, thank you to you. Luke Turner, thank you to you. And Nico Pop's already excused himself. Paul Nichols, thank you to you as well. Again, thanks to all of the great people at LJ Hooker Gaindar, Central Coast Subaru, Oculair, Flash Graphics, Simple Sim Computers, Racecraft, Stone Cold Racing, and SimShed Broadcasting for their ongoing support and assistance with the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club, particularly SimShed Broadcasting, without whom our broadcasts on Monday and Friday would not be possible, because Adam Lavis, he does Wednesday nights, and the trade-off is that he gets to race on Monday and Friday, and we appreciate that. On that subject, I think we're doing a swap next week. I think Adam's going to look after the Monday night, and JP's team is going to look after Wednesday night. So that we're not going to be on a broadcast delay. We will be with you live, so we can keep the live theme going there, which is good stuff. Looking ahead for you, Wednesday night, 7:25 Eastern Daylight Time. Join us for another round of Italian Magic, this time up the road at Imola. The San Marino, the home of the San Marino Grand Prix for so many years, will play a host to Round 7 of the Hump Day Pilot Series and also the Racecraft Porsche GT3 Elite Split Cup. We've got the Elite Split back on our broadcast on Wednesday night, so looking forward to that immensely. On Friday night, we head to Barber Motorsports Park for the production cars and the supercars. Our coverage from 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time as per usual. And, of course, in the middle, we go to Sonoma. So we go from the central part of America across to the west coast in for the main course, the stock cars. The Hobson Watmore battle resumes. Looking forward to it eventually. Round 7 of the stock cars from Sonoma Raceway in California on Friday night. And, of course, the supercars from Barber Motorsports Park. We will be back bringing you the top split there. Top split of the GT Series back on your screen next Monday night as well. Intro to Wings first up, though. We head back to Britain. So we've got 3 countries in the next 7 days. Back to Donington Park. We haven't visited Donington Park yet this year, so looking forward to that. That'll be a new track for the old iRacing credits, and looking forward to that immensely. So Donington Park next Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time, 7:25 Wednesday night, 7:25 Wednesday night, 7:30 Friday night, 7:30 Monday night. Make a note of all of that Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Again, that's a memo to you people that seem so happy to be behind the times up here in Queensland. I don't get it. I never will get it. Thanks to everyone for their input this evening. Thanks to Nico Pop for his expert comments in the broadcast booth here. Thanks to you at home for tuning in as per usual. Hope you've enjoyed the nearly 3 hours of motorsport we've spent. We've brought you the time that we spent together here on a Monday night. We've had great fun. We hope you have as well. In the meantime, on behalf of all the crew here, we look forward to your company Wednesday night. Until then, bye for now.